Are you ready for the ultimate Zarpado compilation facts? Subscribe and let's start. Ever notice that newborn babies cry without actual tears? They can scream their lungs out, but they won't shed a single drop until they are between 2 weeks and 3 months old. Their tear ducts simply aren't developed enough to produce real volume yet. They might sound like they are weeping inconsolably, but their eyes remain bone dry. Think solar panels love scorching heat? Think again. Extreme heat actually overexcites the electrons in the silicon, killing their efficiency. The perfect weather for a solar panel to hit 100% efficiency isn't the Sahara Desert. It is actually a freezing sunny day just like winter in the Swiss Alps. Sometimes ice is the secret to ultimate power. California is sitting on a ticking geological time bomb. The San Andreas Fault stretches for over 600 miles, and its southern section hasn't had a major rupture since 1857. Geologists calculate that the chance of a massive earthquake with a magnitude over 6.7 hitting within the next 30 years is over 99%. It is not a question of if the big one hits, but when. Those four-wheeled ATVs look incredibly safe, but that illusion is highly lethal. Clapping your hands is way more than just making noise. When you clap in unison with a crowd, your brain enters a state of tribal synchronization. It floods your system with oxytocin and endorphins, instantly connecting you acoustically to hundreds of people. On top of that, clapping stimulates key pressure points in your palms. Your hands are literally wired for happiness. A city bus weighs over 15 tons. If buses were programmed to pull over at every single empty stop, your commute would take 3 times as long, brake maintenance would cost millions, and city traffic would completely freeze. Those stop buttons aren't a luxury. In Istanbul, stray cats aren't just tolerated, they are treated like royalty. Hundreds of thousands of street cats have been first-class citizens since the Ottoman Empire, when they saved the city from plague-carrying rats. Today, local governments build them heated shelters, and they have an unwritten free pass to sleep inside local cafes and sacred mosques. In a crowded emergency, the biggest danger might actually be the crowd itself. This is the bystander effect, where everyone assumes someone else will take action. But if there's only one person around, they shoulder the entire responsibility and step up. That's why in a real crisis, you should never yell for help generally. Deep in Poland, there is a house built completely upside down. Its roof rests flat on the ground while the foundation points straight toward the sky. Stepping inside is so disorienting that visitors regularly walk out dizzy within minutes. It was built as a social critique of a topsy-turvy world, proving that flipping your perspective completely breaks your reality. There's a secret tropical island that storms completely ignore. Aruba sits in the far south of the Caribbean, just a few miles off the coast of Venezuela. This exact geographic sweet spot keeps it mathematically safe from the hurricane belt, while other islands face devastating tropical storms. Did you know that tiny dot over the lowercase I and J has a special name? In typography, it's called a tittle. Monks added it during the Middle Ages to separate the letter I from similar-looking letters like U or N in tightly packed, handwritten manuscripts. Your eggplant parmesan might actually be giving you a microscopic nicotine buzz. Botanically, eggplants are berries because they contain internal seeds, and they actually belong to the nightshade tobacco family. They contain trace amounts of nicotine, but don't worry about getting hooked. You'd have to eat 20 pounds of eggplant in a single sitting to feel any physical effect. Deep in the jungles of Madagascar lives a creature that sounds like a whale, but leaps like a superhero. This is the Indri, the world's largest lemur, known for throwing out eerie, high-pitched wails that sound exactly like a humpback whale singing in the treetops. The nicotine in tobacco wasn't made to hook humans, it was designed to kill. The tobacco plant produces nicotine as a natural defense system to paralyze the nervous systems of invading bugs. While humans find it highly addictive because of how it interacts with our brain chemistry, washing a duck with dish soap can actually end in a silent tragedy. Ducks stay buoyant thanks to a special protective oil secreted from their preen gland. If you strip away that oil with heavy soap, their feathers will instantly absorb water like a dry sponge. Nature created a biological bulletproof vest just to survive a killer bite. Cougars always hunt by biting down directly on the throat. So to survive, the wild guanaco evolved neck skin that is 3 times thicker than the rest of its body. When a cougar lunges and bites, its razor-sharp teeth get completely stuck in the tough leather. Millions of sunflowers were planted around Chernobyl and Fukushima for a terrifyingly beautiful reason. These flowers are powerful hyperaccumulators that vacuum up radioactive isotopes like cesium and strontium directly from the poison soil, storing them safely in their stems and petals. They are nature's own beautiful radioactive vacuum cleaners. A healthy snack for you can be an instant death sentence for your dog. Grapes are completely harmless to us, but even a single one can trigger sudden, irreversible kidney failure in a dog. They contain tartaric acid, which our bodies process easily, but a dog's system can't filter it out. During World War II, the German Navy built a helicopter that looked like an engineering mistake but flew like a dream. This was the Flettner FL-282 Hummingbird, featuring 2 interlocking rotors spinning in opposite directions to provide incredible stability. Only a tiny handful were ever built for shipboard reconnaissance. That cheap supermarket burger patty you just bought contains a crowd. DNA testing reveals that a single, inexpensive ground beef patty can contain meat from up to 100 different cows. In massive industrial processing plants, leftover trimmings from thousands of different animals are tossed into giant grinders. Sticking your chopsticks upright in a bowl of rice in Japan is an absolute disaster. It is considered one of the worst insults you can commit at the dinner table. In Japanese Buddhist tradition, that exact gesture is reserved exclusively for food offerings placed on altars for the dead during funerals. There's a real lake in Australia that looks like a giant bowl of bubblegum milk. This is Lake Hillier, and its vibrant pink color is totally real. Scoop some into a glass, and it stays pink under any light. The magic comes from a tiny alga called Dunaliella salina, which pumps out red pigments in super salty water to shield itself from the sun. Ever wonder why some big-rig trucks drive around with their wheels floating in the air? Those are lift axles, designed to raise up when the truck is empty. It cuts down on tire friction to save fuel on return trips, and stops tires from wearing down when there's no heavy load to carry. Imagine driving a car designed by a refrigerator company. That was the iconic BMW Isetta, built right after World War II, which opened exactly like a kitchen fridge with the entire front serving as one giant door. The absolute wildest part? The steering wheel and pedals were bolted directly to the door. In India, there is a giant boulder that defies gravity on a steep slope. Known as Krishna's Butterball, this massive 250-ton rock sits perfectly balanced on a hill with barely any surface contact, refusing to budge for over 100 years. A local king once harnessed 7 elephants to pull it down. Deep in the forests of Asia lives a goat antelope that looks like it has 4 eyes. This is the sero, a bizarre creature with massive preorbital glands right beneath its real eyes that look exactly like a second weeping pear. It rubs these fake eyes against trees and boulders, leaving behind a sticky, intense-smelling goo to claim its territory. Talk about keeping an extra eye on your property. Gold's real value isn't just because it's rare, it's because it's functionally immortal. It is one of the only metals on Earth that never rusts, resists almost all acids, and never breaks down over time. The gold in your ring might have once belonged to an Egyptian pharaoh. The longest mountain range on Earth is completely invisible to us. Stretching for over 40,000 miles, the mid-ocean ridge wraps around the globe like the seams on a baseball. You wouldn't exist today if it weren't for a prehistoric virus. Millions of years ago, an ancient retrovirus hijacked the DNA of our ancestors, and that viral fragment eventually evolved into the syncytin gene, which is absolutely vital for developing the placenta. There's a tiny muscle between your eyebrows that speaks louder than words. It's called the procerus muscle, a small triangular muscle that pulls your brows down and flares your nose. This is the exact muscle that lets you flash a look of pure disgust or anger, sending a clear message of rejection to anyone looking at you. Your beloved air fryer is actually built on a marketing lie. It doesn't fry a single thing. It is actually just a compact convection oven with a high-powered fan that blasts super hot air around a small basket, rapidly roasting the outside of your food to mimic that satisfying, oily crunch. Space isn't actually silent, and NASA has the recordings to prove it. Scientists converted electromagnetic vibrations captured from outer space into actual audio tracks. The rings of Saturn produce an eerie, ghostly hum, while Earth sings its own continuous cosmic melody. Brushing your teeth does way more than just protect your smile, it protects your heart. Your mouth is a direct highway to your bloodstream. When bacteria inflame your gums and cause them to bleed, those microbes hitch a ride straight to your cardiovascular system. In fact, cardiologists regularly find common mouth bacteria. During pregnancy, a baby leaves a permanent biological gift inside its mother. Thousands of fetal stem cells cross the placenta and integrate into the mother's heart, lungs, and brain, living there for decades. If the mother suffers a heart injury years later, ever wonder why the smell of gasoline is strangely satisfying? Gas contains benzene, a chemical compound with a mild anesthetic effect that triggers a subtle rush of euphoria when inhaled. Because your olfactory bulb is wired directly into your brain's memory bank, that scent instantly triggers nostalgic memories of childhood road trips. Without ultra-precise clocks in space, your phone's GPS would be totally useless. Atomic clocks are so precise they won't lose a single second in 15 billion years. To pinpoint your exact location on Earth, satellites have to coordinate signals down to millionths of a second, otherwise, your map would be off by miles. The man who first broke the sound barrier did it with 2 broken ribs and a broomstick. In 1947, Chuck Yeager climbed into the experimental Zone aircraft in agonizing pain. Unable to reach and lock the cockpit hatch, he used a sawed-off broom handle to pry it shut. One of the world's fastest-growing sports was invented because of a bad real estate problem. Padel was born in 1969 when a Mexican businessman wanted a tennis court in his Acapulco home, but didn't have enough space. He built a miniature court instead, but the balls kept flying into his neighbor's yard. An annoying property line created a global sports phenomenon. The highest peak on Earth was once at the bottom of the ocean. Mount Everest reaches nearly 29,000 feet into the sky, yet the rock at its very summit is limestone packed with ancient marine fossils. Even if you left your car baking in the perfect desert sun all day, a solar roof would barely generate enough power to drive an extra 3 miles. Commercial solar panels only operate at around 20% efficiency, meaning the added weight and cost completely wipe out any benefit. The word sushi doesn't actually mean raw fish. It literally translates from Japanese as sour rice. It started out as an ancient preservation method, where fresh fish was packed between layers of fermented rice, so the acid would kill off bacteria. Back then, people threw the rice away and only ate the cured fish. Next time you eat corn on the cob, try counting the rows. Every single ear of corn always grows an even number of rows because its cells split in perfect symmetry. If you ever find one with an odd number, you are holding a major genetic mutation that occurs only once in several million years. There is a gang of mountain parrots in New Zealand that will happily dismantle your car. This is the Kia, the world's only alpine parrot, and they are a complete nightmare for tourists. If you park your car in their territory, these highly intelligent birds will work in teams to rip off your windshield wipers. When your freshly washed dog immediately sprints outside to roll in the dirt, they aren't being bad, it's pure ancient wolf instinct. That sweet lavender shampoo you used is basically a giant neon sign alerting prey and predators to their exact location. Penguins gave up flying in the sky to conquer a much tougher element. Water is 800 times denser than air, so evolution fused their wing bones together, turning them into rigid, paddle-like flippers. They might look clumsy waddling on ice. A simple light bulb swap in Japan and Scotland managed to save lives. When cities replaced traditional orange streetlights with calm blue ones, crime and suicide rates instantly plummeted. Psychologists believe the color blue triggers a deep calming effect, forcing people to pause and rethink their impulses before making a terrible mistake. The parking brake is designed to keep a parked car perfectly still, not to stop a speeding one. Hitting it at high speed locks your rear wheels, sending you into a violent, uncontrollable spin because it doesn't have the anti-lock brake system your pedal brakes do. All those slick movie stunts would total your car in real life. Hollywood lied to you. Formula One tires come off a race feeling like sticky, chewed gum. They pick up tons of dust and tiny rubber shreds from the track, making the car heavier. And here's the twist. That extra weight is actually a blessing. Be careful with starfruit. It contains caramboxin, a neurotoxin that healthy kidneys can handle just fine. But if your kidneys have even a hidden problem, the toxin slips right through and crosses the blood-brain barrier. The first warning signs are uncontrollable hiccups and sudden confusion, which can escalate into seizures. During the Vietnam War, the U.S. launched Operation Popeye. They seeded clouds with silver iodide to create massive rainstorms, turning enemy supply routes into impassable seas of mud. When the classified program was finally revealed, global outrage was so intense that by 1977, a male pufferfish swims tirelessly for weeks, flapping his fins to carve a breathtaking geometric mandala over 6 feet wide into the ocean floor. All that artistic effort has just one purpose: to impress a single female and convince her to lay her eggs right in the center. Those Scottish Highland cows don't have their massive, shaggy bangs for fashion. The Highlands are brutal, with freezing winds and swarms of aggressive flies. That thick fringe is designed to protect their eyes from nasty infections and even prevent snow blindness. Speed bumps are getting a genius upgrade. Some new ones are hollow rubber tubes filled with a non-Newtonian fluid. If you crawl over them at 12 miles per hour, the liquid simply parts and you barely feel a thing. But try to take one at 40, and the sudden impact locks those molecules together. Lion cubs can't roar until they are nearly 2 years old. Their voice box simply hasn't developed yet. So when they're tiny, they sound exactly like a house cat. They meow for food and purr when their mother licks them clean. That iconic scene from The Lion King where Simba tries to roar as a cub is biologically impossible. During World War II, an elite unit of artists known as the Ghost Army saved thousands of lives without firing a single bullet. They used inflatable rubber tanks, pre-recorded sounds of real armored divisions, and fake radio broadcasts to completely deceive German forces. Their incredible story was classified top secret for over 50 years. Flipping a coin isn't actually a 50-50 gamble. Mathematician Percy Diaconis proved there's a physical bias. There is roughly a 51% chance the coin will land on the same side that was facing up before you tossed it. The physics of its spin in the air keeps the original orientation locked in longer than you'd think. A rock hyrax looks like a chubby little guinea pig, but run a DNA test and you'll find its closest living relative is the African elephant. It has the identical bone structure in its feet, tiny little tusks that look eerily elephantine, and a surprisingly advanced memory system for its tiny size. Seeing bright colors and smelling fresh produce makes your brain release dopamine, instantly putting you in a better mood. Plus, buying something healthy first thing gives you a huge moral win that shuts down your guilt, making you far more likely to toss junk food into your cart later. It is psychological warfare disguised as a taste test. Deep inside Uranus and Neptune, massive heat and crushing pressure turn methane into solid diamonds that rain down toward the planet's core. Scientists have even replicated the process in labs, creating tiny nanodiamonds here on Earth. Both planets could be hiding vast oceans of liquid carbon. The tiny muscles that give you goosebumps are useless in humans. Their only job is to make your hair stand up when you're cold or scared. In ancient ancestors with thick fur, this trapped a layer of warm air. In furry animals, it makes them look bigger to an enemy. An Australian thorny devil lizard can drink water just by standing in a puddle. Its entire skin is covered in microscopic grooves that act like tiny drinking straws. Water travels automatically across its body, straight to the corners of its mouth, without a single muscle twitch. It is a perfect evolutionary solution. The hero shrew has a spine like something out of science fiction. Its vertebrae are massively thick and interlocked like gears. A fully grown human, weighing 170 pounds, can stand directly on its tiny back without crushing a single bone. It's a creature built like a tank. The city of Shibam in Yemen is a miracle of ancient engineering. 500 mud brick towers, some as tall as 11 stories, were built in the 16th century without a single piece of steel or cement. They are made of pure sun-dried mud and wood. As of the year 2026, physicists still can't perfectly explain why a bicycle doesn't fall over. It's a bizarre mix of gyroscopic effect, mass distribution, and the angle of the front fork. If you give a riderless bike a good push, the #1 cause of workplace injuries isn't heavy machinery. It's far more boring and far more deadly, slipping and falling on the same level. A simple unmarked wet floor or a single loose cable in an office causes more spinal cord injuries worldwide than all the industrial equipment combined. If a plane has to make an emergency landing on the ocean, those wings become a deadly, slippery slide. That's why you'll see 2 bright yellow hooks on top of every aircraft wing. Flight attendants use them to tie a rope from the emergency door, creating a quick handrail so passengers can walk across the wing. Owls look round and fluffy, with little claws peeking out from the bottom. But that is just a clever trick of the feathers. Lift the lower feathers of an owl and prepare for a shock. They have extremely long, bony, muscular legs that make up almost half their entire body height. They need those long legs to absorb the violent shock of dropping out of the sky onto their prey. The urban legend about a firefighting plane sucking up a scuba diver is a complete physical impossibility. These planes don't use a suction tube. They skim across the water surface at nearly 100 miles per hour, filling their 1,500-gallon tanks in 12 seconds through small intake grates, no bigger than a shoebox. When a bullet train brakes hard before entering a tunnel, it is pure physics. If it blasted in at nearly 200 miles per hour, it would push the air ahead like a giant plunger. That compressed air would shoot out the other side, creating a sonic boom violent enough to shatter windows in nearby towns and rupture eardrums. Every single Spanish Christmas lottery ticket is printed with invisible inks and embedded silk fibers that only show up under ultraviolet light. This makes it impossible to cash a high-quality photocopy of a winning ticket. Each one of those colorful slips is a security document as technologically complex as a real banknote. A person who is actually drowning doesn't scream or wave their arms like in the movies. Their body switches to automatic survival mode. Total silence, a perfectly vertical position, head barely bobbing at the surface, and arms pushing down as if climbing an invisible ladder. Bird lungs are completely different from ours. They are rigid, they don't inflate and deflate like a balloon. Instead, they use air sacs that act like bellows, forcing air to move in a single continuous loop. This makes their breathing far more efficient than ours. Inside the Arctic Circle during summer, the sun simply doesn't set for weeks on end. In cities like Tromsø, Norway, the day never ends. Life there adapts with permanent blackout curtains and people going about their business at any hour. The Eiffel Tower changes size with the seasons. In summer, the heat expands its iron structure, making it grow up to 6 inches taller. In winter, the cold shrinks it back down. It's a living, breathing structure that literally responds to the weather, expanding and contracting with every temperature shift throughout the year. On the moon, there is virtually no atmosphere, so sound has no molecules to travel through. Even if you tried to whistle with all your might, absolutely no sound would leave your helmet. On top of that, the different pressure inside the helmet makes whistling physically very difficult. In space, you can't even hear yourself make a sound. New Zealand's tuatara is the last survivor of an order of reptiles that walked with dinosaurs 200 million years ago. It has a literal third eye on the top of its head, complete with a lens and retina. A cruise ship 20 stories high shouldn't be able to stay stable on the open ocean. It stays upright thanks to massive, computer-controlled underwater fins. These detect the movement of an incoming wave in milliseconds and twist the fin in the opposite direction underwater. Parrots have their own language. When a chick is born, its parents assign it a unique vocal signature, basically a personal name. The chick memorizes that exact sound, and for the rest of its life, it uses that specific squawk to introduce itself to other parrots in the jungle. The United States operates 11 active aircraft carriers, 300-foot floating airports. Russia countered this with the Poseidon underwater drone, a nuclear torpedo that can cross entire oceans at extreme depth and detonate near an enemy coast, generating a radioactive tsunami. It is a duel between the visible power of the surface and the invisible terror of the deep. Major museums like the Louvre only display about 5% of their collections to the public. The other 95% is locked away in high-security underground bunkers. In case of a fire, those bunkers are wired with systems that instantly flood the rooms with nitrogen gas to extinguish the flames without using a single drop of water. In every car dealership on the planet, the front wheels are always perfectly straight, and the logo on the steering wheel is perfectly aligned. This is a deliberate visual trick. It makes the car look like it is ready to launch forward the moment you sit down, unconsciously increasing the urge to buy before the customer even gets in the driver's seat. The Panzer VIII Maus tank weighed 188 tons and was practically invulnerable. It was a true monster of armor. The problem was it couldn't cross any bridge in the world, and its massive engines overheated constantly. Only 2 prototypes were ever completed before the end of World War II, and it never saw a single real battle. Elephants are one of the very few animals that recognize themselves in a mirror. In experiments, they will touch marks painted on their body with their trunk marks they can only see in their reflection. This proves they have real self-awareness. Only the great apes, dolphins, and some incredibly intelligent crows share this cognitive ability. In a twin pregnancy, sometimes an embryo dies very early on, and the surviving twin simply absorbs it. The baby is born perfectly healthy, but that person is a chimera. They carry 2 completely different sets of DNA within the same body. Their blood might hold their own DNA. The superb bird of paradise has feathers that absorb 99.95% of all visible light, making it one of the purest blacks in nature. During a mating dance, it fans these feathers into a perfect oval of absolute darkness, making its bright electric blue eyes the only thing a female can see. Your veins aren't rigid pipes. They are suspended in loose, slippery connective tissue under your skin. If a nurse's needle enters at a slightly wrong angle, the pressure pushes the vein tube aside, forcing them to dig around under your skin, hunting for the hidden vessel that keeps sliding away. An oasis isn't just a lucky puddle in the desert. The wind erodes the sand down into a deep hole until it hits a hidden underground aquifer. Fossil water trapped there for millions of years bubbles up to the surface. The water you find in many ancient oases can be 20,000 years old. The Zhangjiajie Mountains in China are massive pillars of sandstone that rise over 3,000 feet into the sky while being only a few feet wide. The fog makes them look like floating islands. The directors of Avatar admitted that this very landscape was the direct inspiration for the floating mountains of Pandora. A panther chameleon doesn't change color to hide. That's a complete myth. It changes according to temperature and mood. When cold, it turns dark to absorb more sunlight. When it sees a rival or wants to impress a female, it changes the distance between microscopic crystals in its skin to reflect neon red and yellow. It is a living mood ring, not a camouflage artist. Earwax isn't dirt. It is a mixture of oils and sweat designed to trap dust and bugs before they reach your eardrum. It even has active antibacterial properties, and your body pushes it all out automatically every time you move your jaw to talk or chew. A reusable water bottle that isn't washed with soap is a bacterial breeding ground. After just 2 days of humidity, a microscopic slime layer forms on the inside walls. Lab tests have proven that a bottle you only rinse with water can accumulate more fecal bacteria and germs than the top of a public toilet seat you never cleaned. The McGurk effect proves that your eyes can hear better than your ears. If you watch a video of someone's lips clearly saying times FA times, but the audio plays times B, your brain will literally override reality and make you hear times FA. In the forest of Gryfino, Poland, 400 pine trees have a strange, perfect curve at their base, all bent to the north. They were planted in 1930, and still, no one knows why they grew like that. Theories range from deliberate human manipulation to make curved wood, to strange soil anomalies. The secret died with whoever planted them. Launched in 1958, the Vanguard 1 satellite is the oldest human-made object still orbiting our planet. Its predecessor, Sputnik 1, launched a year earlier, re-entered the atmosphere and burned up just 3 months after takeoff. Vanguard 1 is still circling the Earth, a silent ghost from the Cold War. A three-toed sloth has terrible eyesight and relies mostly on touch to get around. Sometimes it will reach out a claw and grab a tight hold of its own arm, mistaking it for a branch. When it lets go of its main grip to reach for the next branch, in the middle of the Turkmenistan desert, there's a crater that has been burning non-stop since 1971. Soviet geologists set the escaping gas on fire, thinking it would burn out in a few days. At night, the glow is visible for miles. It's been burning for over 50 years. Walruses can fall asleep floating in the open ocean without drowning or lifting a finger. They have special air pouches in their throat called pharyngeal sacs that they can inflate at will. These act like a built-in life vest, keeping their head above water while they sleep soundly for hours. They literally nap in the middle of the sea. Incognito mode doesn't make you invisible online. Your internet provider, your employer, if you're on a work computer, and every website you visit still know exactly who you are and what you're doing. All it does is stop your own device from saving the browsing history and cookies from that session locally. Estonia was the first country in the world to offer digital residency. Anyone on the planet can apply to become an e-resident of Estonia, legally open a business in the European Union, and manage it from anywhere in the world without ever physically setting foot in the country. Not even once. White mushrooms, cremini, and portobellos are sold at different prices as if they're different species. They are the exact same fungus, the only difference is age. The white one is the baby, the cremini is the teenager, and the portobello is simply the same mushroom left to grow into full adulthood. The bontebok is a beautiful African antelope with a striking white face and a ridiculous evolutionary flaw. It is physically incapable of jumping over objects. While other antelopes clear 10-foot fences with ease, the bontebok would rather crawl underneath. This quirk nearly drove it to extinction. In Florida, a man named Edward Leedskalnin single-handedly built Coral Castle, moving limestone blocks weighing up to 30 tons without any modern machinery. He worked in total secrecy for decades, driven by a broken heart. No one has ever fully explained how he did it. Seagulls sometimes tap dance furiously on park grass, stomping their feet at high speed. They're not playing, they're mimicking the sound and vibration of heavy rainfall. Earthworms, tricked into thinking they're about to drown, crawl to the surface, and the gull eats them without digging a single inch. The saiga antelope has a bizarre, bulbous nose that works like a high-tech air filter. In summer, it filters out steppe dust. In winter, it warms freezing air before it reaches the lungs. These animals can hit 50 miles per hour, but they were pushed to the brink of extinction by poachers hunting their horns for traditional medicine. At the center of the most violent hurricanes, there's an eerily calm zone with no rain and barely any wind. Sometimes you can even see the stars through the gap in the swirling clouds above. That deceptive silence has killed people who stepped outside thinking the storm was over, only to be hit by the second wall of fury minutes later. Racing motorcycle tires become almost sticky when they hit around 212 degrees Fahrenheit. That's what allows riders to lean at 60-degree angles without sliding out. Try the same lean on a cold street tire, and the bike would launch you into the air instantly. Zero chemical grip means zero chance. 90% of your serotonin, the so-called happiness hormone, isn't made in your brain, it's produced in your gut. If you eat heavily processed food every day, you inflame your intestines, kill the bacteria responsible for making serotonin, and trigger real episodes of anxiety and biological depression. At Maho Beach in St. Martin, the airport runway sits so close to the sand that planes pass just a few feet over the heads of sunbathing tourists before touching down. People travel there specifically to feel the brutal engine blast. Warning signs everywhere remind you that standing that close can be genuinely dangerous. The Bridge of Sighs in Venice, where couples kiss under it in gondolas, has a horrifying backstory. It connected the interrogation rooms of the Doge's palace to the prison dungeons. Those sighs weren't romantic, they were the final laments of political prisoners crossing the bridge. When stress overwhelms your body, the vagus nerve pulls the emergency brake, crashing your blood pressure to protect your heart. If your blood sugar drops at the same time, your brain shuts off the screen and you faint. Hitting the floor is actually your body's perfect reset mechanism. Gravity rushes blood back to your head without any effort. The most dangerous object in your kitchen isn't a machine, it's a dull knife. A sharp blade glides through food effortlessly. A dull one forces you to push hard. The moment it slips off the skin of a tomato, all that uncontrolled force goes straight into your fingers. In Linz, Austria, the pedestrian traffic lights show hearts and couples holding hands instead of the standard stick figure. They were designed to promote inclusion and respect. The idea spread to other European cities, turning an everyday object into a visible symbol of tolerance at every single crosswalk. Tractor tires run at much lower pressure than car tires, so the rubber flattens out and spreads the weight without compacting the soil underneath. If the ground gets packed too tight, plant roots can't push through and the crops die. Those massive tread patterns bite into soft earth to keep the tractor from spinning out. Every groove has a purpose. If synthetic fertilizers vanished overnight, the apocalypse would arrive within months. Right now, 50% of the nitrogen in your own cells comes from those artificial factories. Without them, Earth could only feed about 4 billion people. The other half of humanity would starve almost immediately. The tasseled wobbegong shark has the most effective camouflage on the ocean floor. Its body is completely flat, and fleshy, fringe-like appendages around its mouth perfectly mimic seaweed. It lies completely motionless. The Belvedere Palace in Vienna uses forced perspective as a psychological weapon. The fountains and pathways narrow as they rise, so when you stand at the bottom looking up at the upper palace, it appears far more massive and imposing than it actually is. It was deliberately designed to intimidate guests before they even reach the front door. South Africa is the only country in the world with 3 official capitals operating simultaneously. Pretoria handles executive power, Cape Town handles legislation, and Bloemfontein handles the judiciary. This unique split was deliberately designed to prevent any single region from holding all governmental control over the entire nation. The Phone 17 Nighthawk was the first aircraft ever designed to be invisible to radar. Its extreme angular shape deflected radar waves instead of bouncing them back. It was so aerodynamically unstable that it needed a computer just to stay in the air. It operated in total secrecy for years before its combat debut over Baghdad during the Gulf War. If the sun suddenly went dark, we wouldn't notice for 8 minutes and 20 seconds. That's how long its light takes to reach us. Gravity also travels at the speed of light, so Earth would keep orbiting a ghost star during that window. After that, the sky would go pitch black in an instant, and our planet would be flung into the endless void. When someone with a massively inflated ego gets publicly cornered, they don't apologize. They experience a narcissistic collapse. Their ego isn't real confidence. It's a fragile shield hiding deep shame underneath. When that shield cracks, the brain panics and responds with either explosive, destructive rage or flips into extreme victimhood to hijack the conversation. At Lake Baikal in Siberia, methane gas trapped beneath the ice can actually catch fire. The gas seeps up from the lake bed, and when ignited, it creates flickering blue flames dancing on top of the frozen surface. If you have European or Asian ancestry, you carry between 1 and 4% Neanderthal DNA in every single cell of your body. That ancient code influences your immune system and your adaptation to cold climates. We are a genetic mosaic, carrying our extinct cousins woven permanently into our own biological blueprint. California's Shake Alert system detects the very first seismic waves of an earthquake and fires alerts to cell phones with precious seconds of advance warning. Those few seconds are enough to automatically stop trains, open trapped elevators, shut off gas valves, and get people to cover. It doesn't predict the quake, it simply announces that one has already started and buys you time to react. Rhinos carry almost no body fat. Beneath that skin, which can be up to 2 inches thick, lies nothing but massive, dense muscle. They are also remarkably long-lived in the wild. They typically survive 40 to 50 years, making them one of the longest-living land mammals on the African continent. Varicose veins happen because pushing blood from your feet all the way up to your heart is a massive fight against gravity. Your veins have tiny one-way valves, like little doors that only open upward. After years of standing or due to genetics, those doors break. The pyramids of Giza are aligned with the cardinal directions with less than 1 degree of error. The ancient Egyptians used the equinox method to orient them without any modern technology. That tiny imperfection isn't a mistake. It reveals the limits of a manual technique and makes their astonishing precision even more mind-blowing. When you overeat at a buffet and 20 minutes later you desperately need the bathroom, it's not the food you just ate, it's a neurological reflex. When your stomach stretches suddenly, it sends an immediate signal to your large intestine, ordering it to clear out the old inventory right now to make room. Sharks don't have a swim bladder to control buoyancy. Instead, they have an enormous liver that takes up a full 25% of their body, packed with squalene, an oil less dense than water. It acts as a built-in biological float that keeps them hovering at whatever depth they want. The treadmill was invented in 1818 as a punishment device for English prisoners. It was a massive cylinder with steps where inmates walked 6 to 10 hours a day to grind grain. It destroyed joints so badly that it was banned in the 19th century for being excessively cruel. The sensitive plant moves fast enough for you to watch it happen. Touch its leaves and they snap shut instantly, making the plant look wilted and unappetizing to any passing herbivore. The movement comes from a rapid pressure change in the water inside its cells, working like a tiny pneumatic system triggered by physical contact. It's a plant that flinches. The acai bowls you see in trendy cafes, that frozen purple puree loaded with sweet toppings, are a complete Western invention. In its natural state, acai is bitter, earthy, and tastes metallic. Indigenous Brazilians eat it warm and savory, mixed with cassava flour and fried fish. The fisherman's bastion in Budapest was never a real defensive fortress. It was built at the end of the 19th century as a luxurious panoramic terrace for the city's elite to stroll and admire the Danube. Its name comes from the guild of fishermen who defended that stretch of city wall during the Middle Ages. You don't lose your hair color with age, you're bleaching yourself from the inside. Your hair follicles naturally produce hydrogen peroxide. When you're young, an enzyme called catalase neutralizes it. As you age, you stop producing that enzyme. Without protection, your own body applies pure peroxide to your hair from the root, destroying the pigment strand by strand. In 1990, the Voyager 1 spacecraft took the famous pale blue dot photo from nearly 4 billion miles away. Earth appears as a barely visible speck of light. Carl Sagan wrote that all of human history, every war, every love story, happened on that tiny mote of dust suspended in the darkness of space. The flag of Mozambique is the only national flag in the world that features a modern weapon. An AK-47 assault rifle with a bayonet, representing the defense of the nation, crossed with a hoe symbolizing agriculture. No other country on the planet displays a contemporary automatic weapon. An octopus has 3 hearts and blue blood. 2 hearts pump blood to the gills, and the third pumps it to the rest of the body. Its blood is blue because it uses copper-based hemocyanin instead of iron. When it swims at full speed, its main heart actually stops beating. Phantom traffic jams happen when one driver brakes just a little harder than necessary. The car behind brakes harder, the next one even harder. That chain reaction creates a wave of stopped cars that travels backward at about 10 miles per hour. The decorator crab has the most active camouflage system in the ocean. Its shell is covered in stiff, Velcro-like hairs. Using its claws, it rips off pieces of algae, sponges, and anemones and sticks them all over its body, transforming itself into a walking underwater garden. You'll never board a plane from the right side, and it's the Vikings' fault. Their longships had a steering oar mounted on the right side, called starboard, so they could only dock on the left to avoid breaking it. When airplanes were invented, engineers copied maritime law and treated them like ships of the sky. Crabs walk sideways because their leg joints are designed to bend outward, not forward. This lets them move fast between rocks without tripping over their own limbs. If they tried to walk straight ahead like a human, their legs would constantly jam against each other. Sideways is the only way that works. The canopy of a tropical rainforest blocks almost all sunlight. If an old tree falls and opens a gap of light, thousands of plants launch into a desperate, life-or-death race to grow into that bright patch before the neighboring trees close it up again. In the jungle, light is currency. Inside your phone, there's a tiny MEMS gyroscope. When you tilt or rotate your phone, the Coriolis force alters the vibration pattern of those arms. A sensor reads that shift and tells the screen to rotate. It's a physical, mechanical device, not software. There are tiny moving parts inside your phone right now. Table salt has an expiration date printed on the package, but salt as a mineral has existed on Earth for millions of years without breaking down. That date is for the plastic container, which degrades over time, or for added iodine, which can lose potency. To know if you can truly afford something expensive, use the rule of 5. If you can't buy that item 5 times over in cash without your finances collapsing, you mathematically can't afford it. You're just stretching your limits to live beyond your real means. If the math doesn't work 5 times, it doesn't work once. Social media invented infinite scroll by removing the bottom of the page. Your brain has no visual signal that says stop, so it doesn't know when to quit. That trance state lets 2 hours evaporate without you noticing. In Yoro, Honduras, fish literally fall from the sky during certain storms. This phenomenon has been documented for over a century. The leading theory is that waterspouts over the ocean suck fish into the air and carry them dozens of miles inland before dropping them on the town. Skyscrapers don't exist because we invented steel. They exist because Elisha Otis invented the elevator safety brake. Before that, if the cable snapped, you died. Otis designed spring-loaded steel teeth that bite into the guide rails the instant a cable breaks, stopping the fall immediately. For spiders and snakes, venom is an external digestive system. They inject enzymes that dissolve their prey's internal organs from the inside out, turning everything into a nutritious liquid smoothie. The spider just walks up and drinks the contents without wasting any energy chewing or digesting tough tissue. Elephants are among the only animals left that can act completely naturally in their own habitat. When these ecosystems stay untouched, they become sanctuaries where life truly thrives. Watching these herds rest with their young is a powerful reminder of why these places are worth protecting. The all-time water speed record has stood for more than 45 years. Ken Warby hit 318 miles per hour in the Spirit of Australia, a boat he built in his own backyard out of wood and a military engine. At that speed, water hits like solid concrete. In Northeast India, there's a tradition that stops people in their tracks. Women from the Wancho and Nakte tribes dye their teeth black. It marks major life milestones, using natural blends of charcoal and plants that actually help protect the enamel. The Abbey Library of St. Gall in Switzerland looks like it's straight out of a fairy tale. It's the oldest library in the country, still in use, holding 170,000 volumes and 2,100 medieval manuscripts. On the island of Sumba in Indonesia, there's an ancient ritual called Pasola, where hundreds of men on horseback charge each other with real spears for the sole purpose of spilling blood onto the ground as an offering to their gods. The more blood spilled, the better the harvest. Did you know one of the best archers on earth has no arms? Matt Stutzman, the armless archer, holds the Guinness World Record for the longest accurate shot ever made, nailing a target from 930 feet away. The fungus Ophiocordyceps infects insects, hijacks their nervous system, and steers them to the perfect spot before killing them and bursting out with spores. It sounds like a horror movie, but it's completely real, and it's now inspiring research into more sustainable, biological ways to control pests. The body discovered in the Alps back in 1991 turned out to be the best preserved natural mummy in all of Europe, 5,300 years old. Otzi the Iceman died at 46, killed by an arrow wound to the back. The circular guitar, built by British designer Anthony Dickens, uses a spinning disc with magnetic picks that strikes the strings up to 300 times a minute, creating rhythms no human hand could ever play. Each string even has its own independent output for separate effects. Some houses around the world are literally built on top of international borders. In Barle-Hertog, the line between Belgium and the Netherlands slices straight through streets, shops, and homes. In some cases, which side your front door sits on decides which country's laws, taxes, and services apply to you. Casu Marzu is the most dangerous, banned cheese on the planet. It comes from Sardinia, Italy, made by letting cheese fly larvae break the cheese down into a creamy, intense paste. Eat it without chewing properly, and those larvae can survive the trip and infect your body. Dr. Mashudu Chifularo in South Africa became the first person ever to cure deafness using 3D printed ear bones. The procedure swaps out the 3 smallest bones in the human body with exact titanium replicas custom built for each patient. Venezuela was once home to the largest man-made forest on Earth, called the Uvarito Forest. Sitting between Anzoátegui and Monagas, it covered close to 1.5 million acres of Caribbean pine, planted entirely by human hands, not nature. Ambuluwawa Tower in Gampola, Sri Lanka, stands roughly 160 feet tall, tapering into a cone so narrow at the top that there's barely room for your feet. The spiral staircase forces you to hug the wall, especially rough when someone's coming down the other way. You can plant seeds almost like you're painting the ground, using a technique called hydroseeding. It's a liquid mix of seeds, water, fertilizer, cellulose, and natural adhesives, sprayed straight onto the soil. The Aloha mobile robot, built at Stanford alongside Google DeepMind, uses 2 arms and full mobility to handle real household chores. With just 50 human demonstrations, it learns the task and pulls off nearly a 90% success rate. Antarctica is technically the largest desert on Earth. Nobody ever pictures it that way. It gets less annual precipitation than most hot deserts. In its McMurdo dry valleys, almost no snow or rain ever falls, and the extreme dryness, brutal cold, and relentless winds stop water from ever building up. The Technomar for Lamborghini 63 is a yacht that sounds, looks, and feels like a supercar. Only 63 were ever made, each one 63 feet long, built as a tribute to the year 1963. Jumping spiders don't just dance, they talk with their bodies. What looks like a playful little routine is actually a vital language shaped by evolution. Every twitch and vibration broadcasts their identity, their health, and their intentions to mate. In Utah, a 56-year-old woman gave birth to her own granddaughter. Nancy became a surrogate for her son and daughter-in-law, who couldn't conceive on their own. Contemporary artist Glory Zaitse makes what's known as staple art, hammering tens or even hundreds of thousands of construction staples, one by one, into wood. Playing with metallic tones like copper, silver, black, and gold, and shifting the depth and angle of each staple, creates light and shadow with insane precision. The Flipper Zero looks like a toy, with its pixel face and cartoon dolphin, but it's packing antennas and sensors that can interact with real-world signals. Sub-gigahertz radio, NFC, RFID, and infrared. It can clone remotes, read cards, and work as a universal controller. David Keita turns his own skin into a canvas, embroidering portraits and memories directly onto the palm of his hand, like every stitch holds a personal story. He only works the top layer of skin, so it feels more like a light scratch than anything else. Inside Vietnam's Hang Son Doong Cave, one of the largest on Earth, there's an almost self-contained ecosystem, complete with its own internal jungle, rivers, animals adapted to total darkness. The Hexa, built by Lift Aircraft, is an electric aircraft you can fly without a traditional pilot's license after just one short training session. It runs on 18 independent propellers, so even if a few fail, it just keeps flying. The Chinese giant salamander is one of the strangest animals alive, with a lineage going back to the Jurassic, when it shared the planet with dinosaurs. It has lungs, but it breathes mainly through its wrinkled skin, pulling oxygen straight from the water. It has no eyelids and terrible eyesight, relying instead on special sensors on its body to detect movement. The Roof Jagger helmet is rewriting motorcycle safety with a unique electronic locking system. Instead of regular buckles, it uses 4 moving parts that open to let your head in, then close around your neck like a safety collar. It's physically impossible for it to pop off on its own. The Baps Swaminarayan Akshardham Temple in Robbinsville, New Jersey, opened in 2023, is the largest Hindu temple in the United States. It's built entirely from Italian marble, with no structural steel, every detail hand-carved using techniques thousands of years old. The double-cut technique in wallpapering makes seams basically disappear. Instead of lining up the edges, installers overlap 2 panels and slice through both at once with a sharp blade in a single pass. Circular pianos, also called arc pianos, blend engineering, music, and visual art into one instrument. Instead of a straight keyboard, the keys wrap in a full ring around the player, letting them play in any direction without moving just by turning their body. Finnish artist Juho Kunkala takes origami to another level entirely. Using a single sheet of paper, no cuts, no glue, he folds full samurai warriors with insane detail. Each piece takes hundreds of hours of planning. A national survey in the United States found that roughly 17 million people believe dark-colored cows naturally produce chocolate-flavored milk. The Windrunner, built by Radia, is an aircraft designed to haul wind turbine blades over 300 feet long, with up to 10 times the cargo capacity of a Boeing 777. It can land on dirt runways and fly straight into remote locations. The Vasa was a massive Swedish warship from the 1600s that sank on August 10, 1628, after sailing barely 0.8 of a mile. It had a fatal design flaw: too many cannons up top, not enough weight down low, making it wildly unstable. Imagine ordering sunlight at night, like a home delivery service. That's exactly what Reflect Orbital is building, a constellation of satellites with giant ultralight mylar mirrors that redirect sunlight from space down to specific spots on Earth. Tesla built a robot to clean its own robotaxi fleet. It climbs into the vehicle on its own, picks up crumbs, empty bottles, even forgotten backpacks with zero human help. It uses sensors, computer vision, and preset routes to navigate inside the car without ever damaging the interior. The mechanical Nautilus SD2 is a steampunk masterpiece, a mechanical Nautilus with articulated tentacles and startlingly realistic movement. Built from aluminum, zinc, and brass, it runs on an internal motorized system with LED lights glowing through its structure. It sells as a collector's item for around $1,000. Writing music on a typewriter became possible thanks to the Keaton Music Typewriter, patented by Robert H. Keaton, a first version in 1936, and an improved one in 1953. Instead of letters, its keys were packed with musical notes, clefs, and symbols. The raccoon dog, or Japanese tanuki, throws everyone off with its looks. It resembles a raccoon, but it's not related to one at all. Here's the wild part. It's the only canid on Earth that hibernates through winter. In Los Santos de Maimona, Spain, there's a jaw-dropping house called El Capricho de Cotrina. Construction began in 1988, built by Francisco González Grajera, a self-taught bricklayer, as a special gift for his young daughter. Between Egypt and Sudan lies a strip of land called Bir Tawil that neither country wants to claim. The mess comes from two conflicting colonial-era borders. If Egypt claimed Bir Tawil, it would lose its claim to the much larger Halab Triangle. The seaweed-based biodegradable wrap from Zero Cycle looks just like plastic, but it isn't. It wraps food exactly like regular plastic wrap, but in a way that's far healthier and far more sustainable. And growing seaweed takes no fertilizer, no fresh water, and no soil at all. A creator in China crammed the real internal components of a PlayStation 5, an Xbox Series X, and a Nintendo Switch into a single working box. The system shares one power supply, one aluminum cooling system, and a single HDMI output for all three consoles. The Taqua speciosa cicada stands out for colors so vivid they barely look real. But its wildest feature isn't visual, it's sound. Males produce that powerful call using organs called tymbals in their abdomen, vibrating at high speed to amplify the noise like a built-in speaker. The Traventus Scan Robot 2.0 MDS can digitize antique books up to 6 inches thick without ever damaging them. Its V-shaped prism captures every page distortion-free, even deep in the spine, working at just a 60-degree angle to avoid straining the binding. The underground tunnels of Vinh Moc in Vietnam were way more than just a wartime hideout. Over 90 families lived down there for years, running their entire lives underground. There were bedrooms, a kitchen, common areas, and some kids were even born beneath the surface. The Beetle Sphere transforms a classic Volkswagen Beetle into a perfect sphere without crushing it. Every original part gets remolded using aluminum and polyester to achieve that flawless round shape. The process means cutting, adjusting, and reassembling every piece without losing the soul of the original car. The IH Harbor campus at Xi'an Jiaotong Liverpool University in China looks like a futuristic city built for innovation. Constructed between 2017 and 2019, it brings together research platforms, hundreds of institutes, and over 100 science hubs with cutting-edge labs in artificial intelligence. Scientists in South Korea have successfully 3D printed living parts of the human eye using real living cells. It's not a transplantable eye yet, but the breakthrough is recreating structures as complex as the retina. 3D bioprinting can now create fully functional human ears for people with microtia. First, they scan the healthy ear to build a perfect mirror image. Then they extract cartilage from the patient, multiply those cells, and mix them into a bioink. Your calf muscles basically work as a second heart. The gastrocnemius and soleus muscles constantly contract and relax as you walk or run, squeezing the veins in your legs and pushing blood back up toward your heart. In the Alcalama district of Huaral, Peru, there's a house only about 2 feet wide. It sounds impossible, but its fully functional living room, kitchen, bathroom, office, and 2 floors all built in wood with a Tyrolean style and a pitched roof. The OB feeding robot is changing something as simple as mealtime for people with limited mobility. Its robotic arm picks food from 4 compartments and brings it straight to the user's mouth. It's controlled with tiny buttons that can be triggered by the head, the feet, or whatever movement the person has available. The 1963 film Cleopatra nearly bankrupted 20th Century Fox. It started with a $2 million budget but ended up costing $44 million, about $400 million today. The little people mushroom, identified as Lanmawa asiatica and found growing in Yunnan, southwest China, with similar cases in the Philippines, is famous because eating it raw or undercooked triggers hallucinations of tiny people like elves or residents of Lilliput. The GlocalMe pet phone lets your dog or cat start two-way video calls with you from home. It comes packed with 60 relaxing music tracks to ease anxiety, high-precision global tracking, and AI that analyzes your pet's health and behavior in real time. A smart pad developed by the Swiss Federal Institute of Technology in Zurich can analyze menstrual blood to catch diseases like ovarian cancer and endometriosis in their earliest stages. It's built with specific antibodies that react to biomarkers in the blood. A champagne cork is way more dangerous than it looks. Once it's popped, it can fly off with enough force to cause serious injury, especially if it hits someone in the eye. Orcas are brutally smart, efficient predators that can hunt anything from tiny fish to full-grown whales using team tactics that look like rehearsed choreography. Every pod develops its own techniques, passed down generation after generation like creating waves to knock prey off the ice. Macro photography reveals a whole hidden world inside everyday life. Details the human eye can never catch in real time turn, under the right lens, into images that completely flip our perspective on the ordinary. In Yunnan, China, the village of Wenping looks like it's stuck in permanent rain. After a devastating fire in 2021 destroyed over 100 homes, the village was rebuilt with automated water cannons that can cover the entire settlement in seconds. Skate wheel. One electric skates look like regular skates at first glance, but you never have to push off. They deliver up to 30 miles of range on a single charge and hit speeds of up to 50 miles per hour. They come with a removable battery for longer rides at a price tag of around $1,800. One man turned a polluted junkyard into a medieval village straight out of a movie. Near Buenos Aires, Antonio Campana built Campanopolis entirely from demolition scraps. With old doors, windows, wood, iron, and stone, he raised towers, castles, bridges, and leaning houses. The inventor who turned an agricultural drone into a human transport platform proved just how thin the line is between industrial machinery and personal flight. These machines, originally built to haul gallons of liquid, use high-torque motors and massive propellers that now lift people with astonishing precision. Bats sometimes fall into the water by accident while drinking near the surface, but their instincts save them every time. They use their wings like oars, moving almost like a swimmer doing the butterfly stroke powered by the same chest muscles they use to fly, to push themselves to shore with surprising strength. The Adrer Amalal Hotel, in the Siwa Oasis in Egypt, is built entirely from Khrushchev, a mix of mud, sand, and salt. Its 40 rooms have no electrical outlets, no TVs, no modern lighting at all. Once night falls, the whole hotel is lit only by candles and oil lamps. In Japanese company Yaskawa's Bushido project, a Motoman MH-24 robotic arm recreated the movements of a samurai swordmaster. They captured every motion of swordsman Isao Machi in 3D, and the robot replicated them with jaw-dropping precision, slicing fruit and flowers out of midair. It doesn't improvise or adapt on its own, it executes exactly what it learned from a human master. The Wiggy Dual Doggy Double Leash changed dog walking forever with a 360-degree swivel system, where both leads extend from a rotating central axis so they never tangle, even when the dogs keep crossing paths. The Husseini suspension bridge in Pakistan tests even the bravest of nerves. Its gapped wooden planks, worn steel cables, and constant swaying in the wind make every single step feel like an eternity. The MZ Streamliner motorcycle was built by German engineer Sebastian Brandt, based on a classic MZ ES 250 from former East Germany. It keeps the original two-stroke engine with that unmistakable sound and smell straight from another era. Moi shoes with interchangeable heels let you swap the heel in seconds without ever taking the shoe off, going from high to low to flat. Their internal mechanism keeps the foot perfectly stable and aligned, with zero wobble. The Harley-Davidson Blue Edition is considered one of the most expensive motorcycles on Earth, valued at close to $1,900,000. It's studded with over 360 diamonds, gold-plated parts, and an engine with built-in interior lighting. It wasn't built for speed, it was built to impress, period. The red banana, also known as the purple banana, daca, or red Spanish banana, belongs to the triploid banana family. Its reddish peel hides a creamy pulp with pink undertones. Unlike the yellow banana, it carries a hint of berry flavor with a noticeably stronger sweetness. At the Mercedes-Benz Museum in Stuttgart, there's a Formula One car on display completely taken apart, over 1,000 components floating along a line that shows exactly how speed gets built. Sports cameramen, especially in basketball, can anticipate plays in a split second, almost like they're inside the game themselves. They're not just moving the camera, they're reading the rhythm of the game, positioning perfectly, and reacting without a moment's hesitation. One creator used AI to imagine the future of Stranger Things after the series finale. In the viral scene, Eleven and Mike are attacked in their own home, but their son has inherited the powers. The level of cinematic detail left millions of fans online completely speechless. When a hamster climbs into its tiny chair to eat, it's not just for the cuteness factor. Hamsters actually prefer sitting to better handle food with their paws and keep their balance while processing it. Their spatial memory lets them remember routines and routes for weeks at a time. The giant Leshan Buddha in Sichuan, China, was carved directly into a cliff face at the meeting point of three rivers. It stands over 230 feet tall and includes an internal drainage system that prevents erosion. Malva's hyper-realistic insect photography connects viewers with the invisible architects of the ecosystem. These tiny creatures that keep the whole planet in balance rarely get any attention, but under the right lens, they reveal extraordinary complexity and beauty. Mehran Karimi Nasseri, an Iranian refugee, spent 18 years living inside Paris's Charles de Gaulle Airport. It all started in 1988 when he lost his documents and got trapped in a legal limbo, unable to enter France and unable to fly anywhere else. The Chocolate Hills on Bohol Island in the Philippines are one of the most striking natural formations on the planet. They're green most of the year, but during the dry season, the grass turns brown, and the whole landscape looks like it's covered in giant chunks of chocolate. France developed an artificial heart called amazin, created by the company Carmat, capable of replacing a human heart for years without needing a donor. The device mimics the functions of a real heart and adjusts blood flow based on the body's needs. A woodpecker can strike up to 1,200 times a minute without suffering any brain damage. Its tongue wraps all the way around its skull, acting as a built-in shock absorber, basically a biological helmet. This natural engineering has inspired research into new materials for helmets. Ice volcanoes exist on moons throughout the solar system, like Enceladus in Europa. Unlike volcanoes on Earth, they don't erupt with hot lava, they spew water, ice, ammonia, or methane out into space. It happens because temperatures out there are unbelievably cold. The Burton and Motorola Audex jacket let you answer Bluetooth calls, control music from your sleeve, and hear sounds straight from the hood, all without ever pulling your phone out of your pocket. Built for snowboarders, it had removable electronics for easy washing, cost around $600, and kept devices protected from extreme cold. The Deka Luke Bionic Prosthetic, developed with support from DARPA, works through electromyography electrodes that read muscle signals from the residual limb and translate them into up to 10 motorized movements. It includes 6 grip types, letting users do everything from holding tools to handling fragile objects. The CO glove, created by Kenyan engineer Roy Alila, after watching his deaf niece struggle to communicate, has sensors on every finger that capture hand movements and send them to an app that translates them into speech in real time. In Oymyakon, a tiny town in eastern Siberia, temperatures have dropped as low as 96 degrees below 0 Fahrenheit. Modern satellites now use AI to analyze data and make decisions without waiting for instructions from Earth. This lets them spot wildfires, storms, or surface changes on their own and decide what information to send back first. Your smartphone today has way more computing power than the computers used for the Apollo 11 moon mission. The lunar module's guidance computer had just a few kilobytes of memory, laughably limited compared to today's technology. Researchers are developing microneedle patch vaccines that stick to the skin and release the drug without any traditional needle. The method can be less painful, easier to distribute, and doesn't always require strict refrigeration. The Mponeng mine in South Africa is the deepest gold mine on Earth. To reach the bottom, workers have to descend over 2.5 miles, a trip that can take more than an hour, even in high-speed elevators. Stratacut animation, pushed to the extreme by David Daniels, involves sculpting a block of clay with hidden internal designs, then slicing it layer by layer, photo by photo. Each cut destroys the previous image. The ocellated turkey of Central America grows wattles that shift into vivid shades of orange and red during mating season, a visual signal of strength to attract a mate. Its iridescent feathers flash blue, green, and gold, seeming to shift color with the light. The Huamoa banana, native to Polynesia and common in Hawaii, can grow up to 10 inches long and 4 inches thick, 3 to 4 times bigger than a regular banana. Green, it's used like a plantain for frying. Ripe, it's eaten as a sweet fruit. Kevin Champagne's portrait of Marilyn Monroe uses over 10,000 lipsticks, arranged like pixels to build light and shadow with incredible detail. This artist turns everyday objects into massive works of art that sell for thousands of dollars. In the 1920s, women known as flappers started painting their knees. As they shortened their skirts and danced the Charleston non-stop, they turned that one body part into a symbol of total freedom. The makeup highlighted every movement, turning the dance itself into a spectacle. The chaja, also called the Southern Screamer, is a South American bird whose call can be heard from over 2 miles away. It looks like an imposing bird of prey, but it's actually a distant relative of ducks and swans. It carries 2 bony spurs on each wing, which it uses to defend itself from threats. Short spine syndrome is an extremely rare genetic disorder in dogs, where the vertebrae never fully develop into bone, staying as cartilage instead. It reshapes the animal's entire structure from birth, leaving it unable to turn its head normally. Futuroscope Park near Poitiers, France, is considered the most futuristic park in Europe. There are no traditional roller coasters here, just technology, giant screens, simulators, and 4-dimensional experiences where you don't just watch, you live it from the inside. One attraction even simulates being trapped inside a real tornado. The Silledam building in Amsterdam, completed in 2002, looks like it's floating on the IJ Lake. It packs in 157 homes of many different types, plus offices and shared spaces, all compressed into a single block on the water. Water lizards have a wild trick up their sleeve. They can trap an air bubble right on their snout that lets them breathe while fully submerged, dodging predators completely. Held in place by their water-repellent skin, that bubble acts like a tiny recycled oxygen tank. The airfish vehicle rides the ground effect, gliding just a few feet above the water using the air pressure trapped between the craft and the surface. It hits speeds up to 3 times faster than a lot of conventional boats. It's built for fast coastal routes, tourism, shipping, and security missions. The Spear of Destiny, also called the Lance of Longinus, is the supposed weapon a Roman soldier used to pierce Jesus' side during the crucifixion. Emperors, kings, and conquerors have hunted for it for centuries, convinced it granted invincible power to whoever held it. Matschie's tree kangaroos spend nearly their entire lives up in the trees on the Huon Peninsula in Papua New Guinea. Unlike regular kangaroos, they evolved for life in the canopy with curved claws, powerful hind legs, and a long tail that keeps them balanced. The Red River hog of Central and West Africa has a nearly painted-looking bright red coat with black and white facial markings and long tufted white ears that give it a look no other pig on earth has. In some private markets, it can sell for between $1,000 and $4,000. The Earth Scraper is an architectural concept designed for Mexico City that proposes digging nearly 1,000 feet underground into an inverted pyramid spanning 65 levels. The idea from the firm BNKR Architectura. Japan's Great Snow Valley, known as Yuki no Otani, is one of the most jaw-dropping landscapes in the entire country. Every spring, massive walls of compacted snow, up to 65 feet tall. A mirage is just an optical illusion caused by extreme heat. The ground heats the air right above it, creating layers at different temperatures. That hot, less dense air stays close to the ground. South Korean artist Cho Yu-ram's kinetic sculpture Round Table features a circular table with 18 headless figures caught in constant motion. A sphere rolls across the surface, and every time it nears a figure, the mechanism lifts it up, keeping the sphere just out of reach. This custom 6x6 Humvee packs a Hellcat engine, putting out over 700 horsepower, a completely reworked body, and one detail nobody sees coming: a spoiler built from an actual airplane wing. The result blends military styling with extreme tuning. The Lil Red Wrecker tow truck was built in 1970 for Red Fox and became famous for its over-the-top design. In 1974, it was picked up by George Barris, the legendary creator of the Batmobile, who restored it, painted it red, and gave it the name it's known by today. The 1988 Bertone Genesis, also known as the Lamborghini Genesis, was a concept car unveiled at the Turin Motor Show. It looked like a futuristic minivan, but under the hood it hid the heart of a supercar, a 5-liter V12 pumping out 455 horsepower. Some viruses can lie completely dormant in your body for decades. A well-known example is the varicella zoster virus, the one behind chickenpox. After the initial infection, it can hide out in nerve cells. Teresa Kachindamoto, a traditional chief in Malawi, dedicated her life to ending child marriage. She annulled over 3,500 marriages and convinced the government to legally ban marriage under the age of 18, sending hundreds of kids back to school. The nudibranch Kuthona yamasui is a tiny sea creature just a couple inches long that glides across the ocean floor with ease. Its orange and blue coloring comes straight from its diet. It eats hydrozoans and stores their toxins in little extensions on its back, turning itself into its own built-in defense system. Sanitronics is a Dutch company that builds automated public restrooms with 2 toilets that work in shifts. While one is in use, the other gets fully washed and dried with pressurized water and biodegradable soap. Every unit has touchless doors, flushing, and hand washing. The EvoBot is a self-balancing, 2-wheeled autonomous robot that can carry up to 220 pounds. It handles ramps and uneven surfaces with ease and navigates through crowds without a single collision thanks to its smart sensors. The human body holds about 1/10 of an ounce of iron, technically enough to make one small nail. But it's not sitting there as solid metal, it's built into hemoglobin, the protein in red blood cells responsible for carrying oxygen. Moving people off an oil rig and onto a ship takes serious precision. The most common method uses telescoping gangways with real-time compensation systems that adjust to the motion of the waves. The first newscast ever to shift from black and white into color was caught on tape. Footage from a local station in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, captured that historic switch on April 14, 1967. In China, watermelon rind isn't trash, it's a prized ingredient. The white inner layer gets transformed into incredible dishes, stir-fried with spices, pickled as a snack, or dried for storage. Its crunchy texture, similar to cucumber, soaks up flavor beautifully. Xinjiang Maojian tea, known as the king of green teas, comes from the city of Xinjiang in China's Henan province. Its name literally means Xinjiang furry tips, because its delicate leaves are covered in tiny white hairs. Shanghai Pudong International Airport has sleep pods installed right near the boarding gates, letting transit passengers catch some rest without ever leaving the international zone. There are around 30 pods available, each one a tiny private capsule straight out of a sci-fi movie. Science just hit a massive milestone. Hydnora africana looks like it belongs on another planet. It lives almost entirely underground in southern Africa, with no leaves, no stems, and no chlorophyll, surviving by parasitizing the roots of other plants. It only surfaces to flower, and to attract pollinating beetles, it releases a stomach-turning smell just like rotting flesh. The Sanctuary of Truth in Thailand is a 345-foot-tall wooden temple built without a single metal nail, using entirely traditional joinery techniques. There's no electricity. Every room is lit purely by natural light filtering in and reflecting off the wood. Smart space debris satellites are a new generation of tech equipped with AI to detect, capture, and recycle waste floating in Earth's orbit. They can identify dangerous debris and grab it with zero human input. This technology is critical to stop chain reaction collisions that could make near-Earth space unusable for future missions. A harpy eagle's talons are about the same size as, or even bigger than, a grizzly bear's claws. This South American raptor needs that kind of power to snatch prey as large as monkeys and sloths straight out of the treetops where it lives. China built a roughly $20 million building dedicated entirely to protecting the golden coin turtle, a species so highly sought after that a single wild male can sell for up to $20,000. It's critically endangered because of its use in traditional medicine and as a status symbol. Artist Stellark surgically implanted an ear onto his own arm as a piece of performance art. The ear was grown from his own skin and a cartilage structure, not for looks, not for function, but to prove the human body doesn't have to stay the same and that new parts can be added in the most unexpected places. Scientists at the University of Pennsylvania developed a chewing gum capable of fighting off common viruses like the flu and herpes. It uses a plant protein extracted from lab beans that traps pathogens before they can infect the body. Predjama Castle in Slovenia is literally built inside a mountain, wedged into the mouth of a cave on a cliff face over 400 feet tall. With more than 800 years of history, it holds the Guinness World Record for the largest cave castle on Earth. Sponge cities are an urban design model that swaps out excess concrete for green, permeable surfaces that soak up heavy rainfall. They cut down on flooding, recharge groundwater, and help regulate urban temperatures in the face of climate change. Creator Cohen Bricks built a fully functional typewriter using nothing but Lego pieces. Every key triggers a real system of levers and gears that moves a mechanical arm, strikes an inked ribbon, and types letters onto paper. Divers working at extreme depths for long stretches don't breathe regular air, they breathe a mix of oxygen and helium. At those depths, the nitrogen in normal air can mess with their mental state, causing narcosis. Chinese company Betavolt developed a miniature nuclear battery that never needs an external recharge. It uses the decay of nickel-63 isotopes combined with diamond semiconductors to generate constant power for decades. It can keep small devices running completely on their own for up to 50 years. Scientists have perfected fully transparent windows that work as high-efficiency solar panels without blocking the view or ruining a building's look. They're made from organic materials that absorb only ultraviolet and infrared light to generate electricity. Quetzalcoatlus was the largest flying reptile ever known, with a wingspan of up to 40 feet, roughly the size of a small airplane. On the ground, it stood between 16 and 20 feet tall, about as tall as a giraffe. It didn't live at sea, it hunted small vertebrates on land, walking on all four limbs. Hadzane is a language spoken by fewer than 1,500 people from the Hadzabe tribe in Tanzania. Linguists consider it one of the hardest languages on Earth to transcribe because it's built on tongue clicks. Researchers are combining AI, archaeology, and acoustics to reconstruct how ancient civilizations actually sounded. Using physical remains and historical instruments, they simulate lost voices and soundscapes, turning history into something you can actually listen to and better understand how our ancestors lived day to day. The first certified electric flying taxis, developed by companies like Joby Aviation and Archer, take off vertically like helicopters but fly silently and efficiently. They're designed to shuttle passengers across big cities in minutes, turning a 1-hour car ride into a 10-minute flight. The Pigastat is a clear, capsule-shaped medical device that's been used since the 1960s to keep babies and toddlers still during X-rays. The cylinder holds them upright for a few seconds without any pain, capturing perfect images on the very first try. Borneo's peacock pheasant is one of the most elusive, least-known birds on the planet. It lives exclusively in the rainforests of Borneo and stands out with its dark, metallic sheen plumage, striking blue face, and white legs. Memory implants are emerging technology that use neural devices to restore memories damaged by Alzheimer's. They stimulate the hippocampus, mimicking the brain's natural electrical memory patterns. Early studies show promising results, opening the door to more precise treatments that could complement or replace heavy reliance on medication. Fear of snakes isn't something we're born with. Newborns don't fear them at all, because at birth we only have 2 startle reflexes. Mosquito scientist Paran Ross from the University of Melbourne feeds his research mosquitoes with his own blood. Each of his cages holds around 500 mosquitoes, and since he started back in 2012, he estimates he's donated somewhere around 2 gallons of his own blood. As he jokes himself, he'd be dead if they all fed on him at the same time. Narendra Modi Stadium in India is the largest cricket stadium on Earth, holding roughly 132,000 spectators, bigger than most football or American football stadiums. When it's packed, the stadium looks like an entire city wrapped around the field. Human skin is only about 1/10 of an inch thick, incredibly thin compared to other animals. A hippo's skin can measure up to 2.5 inches thick. And in large whales, the layer of blubber insulating them from the cold can run over a foot deep. That difference in thickness reflects exactly how much physical protection each species needs to survive daily life in its environment. NASA captured the sun's electromagnetic and plasma vibrations and converted them into sounds we can actually hear. The sun constantly vibrates like a giant bell, driven by the massive movement of hot gases and magnetic fields inside it. Inside London's Royal Botanic Gardens lives the loneliest plant on Earth. Encephalartos woodii is a prehistoric cycad that once dominated the planet back in the age of the dinosaurs. The sanctuary of Covadonga in Spain is built inside a cave, suspended over a waterfall on Mount Asiva. The chapel is literally carved into the rock. In advertising, that ice cream in the photo usually isn't real. Under studio lights, real ice cream melts in minutes. So food stylists swap it out for mashed potatoes mixed with food coloring instead. Astronauts who spend long stretches in space can't drive once they get back to Earth. They have to wait at least 21 days before getting behind the wheel. Microgravity weakens their muscles and throws off their balance, so they need time to readjust. Every year, millions of tons of sand from the Sahara Desert travel thousands of miles through the air, landing all the way in the Amazon rainforest. That dust carries phosphorus, a nutrient that acts as a natural fertilizer for Amazonian plants. In 1980, Louisiana's Lake Peigneur literally vanished. Beneath its waters sat a salt mine that had been active since 1919. An oil drilling crew miscalculated their position and punched straight through the mine's ceiling. The water formed a massive whirlpool that swallowed the drilling platform, 11 barges, trucks, and trees. The Speyside cooperage in Scotland is the country's largest barrel-making operation. Founded in 1947, it repairs and reconditions between 350 and 400 barrels every single day. That process matters because Scotch whiskey pulls a huge part of its flavor, color, and aroma straight from the wood it ages in. Artificial photosynthesis is a technology that mimics plants, converting sunlight into clean fuel using artificial leaves built with semiconductors and catalysts. It uses water and carbon dioxide to produce chemical energy like hydrogen or synthetic fuels. The roundest object ever made isn't a ball, it's a silicon sphere created by the Avogadro project, polished at Australia's Centre for Precision Optics to help redefine the kilogram. Its imperfections are so microscopic that if it were blown up to the size of Earth, the tallest mountain on it would stand just a few feet high. In Greece, they're installing harp-shaped structures that turn the breeze into soft melodies while generating power to light up the streets. These wind harps blend art, technology, and sustainability, using nothing but wind to produce harmonic sounds like a real instrument completely on their own. Lucas Robles, a 25-year-old from Chile, lives with Mobius syndrome, a rare neurological condition that causes facial paralysis and makes movements like smiling impossible. The syndrome affects speech, causes feeding problems in infants. Sedan Crater is the largest man-made crater in the Americas, measuring roughly 1,300 feet across and nearly 320 feet deep. It was created in 1962 when the United States detonated an underground nuclear bomb. During World War II, there was a truck called the Bedford R.L. Bobbin that carried a massive spool unrolling a kind of carpet as it drove forward, letting other vehicles roll off ships without sinking into the sand on the beaches. Two engineers went viral after hacking into an in-flight entertainment system mid-flight and using it to play video games. Instead of punishing them, the airline rewarded them with free flights for life for exposing the vulnerability and helping improve the cybersecurity of their entire fleet. MIT engineers created bionic plants that glow with their own light, using nanotechnology built directly into their leaves. The end goal: city trees that replace streetlights entirely, lighting up streets naturally and sustainably. The Oura Ring 4 is a smart titanium ring that tracks sleep, stress, activity, and recovery with medical-grade precision. It uses infrared sensors to measure heart rate, blood oxygen, temperature, and heart rate variability. Paraty, in Brazil's Rio de Janeiro state, is a colonial town deliberately designed to flood at high tide. Seawater flows through its cobblestone streets and naturally cleans them out. The streets tilt gently toward the center, letting the water flow through without ever pooling. Polar bears are such good thermal insulators that under a thermal camera, they barely register any visible heat at all. Their fur is so efficient that only their nose, eyes, and paws give away any trace of body temperature. The Belgian passport hides a secret tribute to its most famous comic book characters. Its pages carry hidden illustrations of Tintin, the Smurfs, Lucky Luke, and Spirou. Most of these details only show up under ultraviolet light, completely invisible under normal lighting. A quartz crystal disk developed by scientists can store 360 terabytes of data for billions of years. It's incredibly resistant to heat and the passage of time, built to preserve human knowledge long after our possible extinction. The red-lipped batfish of the Galapagos Islands has lips so intensely red they look freshly painted on. But those bright lips aren't about fashion. They're there to attract a mate in the deep ocean. Xenobots are the first living robots ever built, made from the stem cells of frog embryos. They're programmed to clean up microplastics or travel through arteries, clearing blockages. They can even gather loose cells and assemble them into copies of themselves, a completely unprecedented form of biological self-replication. In China, there's a massive Ferris wheel that seems to float in midair with no visible axle or spokes. The cabins glide along outer rails in near total silence, offering breathtaking panoramic views. It's a symbol of the country's technological leap and architectural ambition, a true marvel of modern design. The International Space Station is the largest human-made object ever put into orbit, roughly the size of a football field. Astronauts run scientific experiments while hurtling through space at 17,500 miles per hour. It's a one-of-a-kind orbital lab where researchers study everything from physics to biology in zero gravity. Jai Alai, born in the Basque Country, is one of the fastest sports on the planet. Players fling a ball that can hit speeds of 186 miles per hour. They use a curved wicker scoop called a chistura to launch it against a front wall. In the early 1900s, inventors unveiled the violina, a machine that combined a piano with 3 violins playing all at once. It was built to make music with 0 musicians, pushing musical automation to a whole new level. It never took off commercially, but it carved out its place in the history of instruments. Since the 1980s, candy makers have been selling treats with real insects inside. Crickets, scorpions, you name it. Sounds like a prank, but they're totally edible and popular at fairs and novelty shops. Drone racing is a high-speed sport where pilots fly tiny aircraft through obstacle-packed courses. Wearing special goggles, racers see everything in first person. This sport has exploded in popularity, blending lightning reflexes, precision, and cutting-edge tech into one wild spectacle. Uper lights look like ordinary rocks, but under ultraviolet light, they glow with brilliant orange and yellow tones. They contain a mineral called sodalite that reacts to UV rays, creating a spectacular fluorescent effect. First found along the shores of Lake Superior in the United States, they're now a favorite among collectors. In 1885, inventors built the first motorcycle with wooden wheels and a rudimentary engine. Its creator was German engineer Gottlieb Daimler, who changed transportation forever. It was wobbly and loud, but it laid the groundwork for every motorcycle that rules the streets today. The TMC Dumont, designed by Tarso Marquez, is a futuristic motorcycle powered by a 1960s Rolls-Royce aircraft engine capable of pumping out 300 horsepower. It won the prestigious Daytona Bike Week. It's not just an engineering marvel, it's a symbol of everything cutting-edge in motorcycling. James Cook is a British artist who creates hyper-realistic portraits using nothing but a typewriter. With just keys, ink, and paper, he builds entire landscapes, animals, and cityscapes. Every single letter becomes one tiny dot in a much bigger picture. With no way to erase a mistake, every piece demands total patience and precision. Built in the 1960s, the P50 holds the title of smallest car in the world. It measures barely 4 feet long and weighs only about 350 pounds, with just enough room for one driver. Its tiny 3 cubic inch engine and ultra-low fuel use made it the perfect city car, and today it's a full-blown cult classic. Astronauts on the International Space Station once made pizza in zero gravity, using flatbread, sauce, and processed cheese, so nothing would go floating off. Cooking in space is no joke, but this comfort food made it all the way past the atmosphere, a fun little way to keep spirits up, far from home. The Tinapod is a case that turns your Apple Watch into a device that looks and feels like a classic iPod. It has a front-facing wheel for scrolling through menus, just like the real thing. Compatible with Apple Watch Series 4 and up. Thanks to bricks made from recycled plastic, you can now build a house the same way you'd snap together toy blocks. They lock into place with no cement needed and end up sturdier than concrete. They're lightweight, easy to transport, and go up in just hours. Every single piece keeps plastic bottles and waste out of landfills. Space tourism is officially here. Thanks to SpaceX, Blue Origin, and Virgin Galactic, people with deep pockets can now cross into the atmosphere and take in views of Earth almost nobody gets to see. Tourists get a few minutes of weightlessness and watch the curve of the planet during suborbital flights. The world's smallest robot is a tiny propeller that flies using a magnetic field instead of a battery. This breakthrough in robotics is a major step toward a future where microscopic robots could handle complex tasks in medicine or space exploration far more efficiently than ever before. 330-pound dumbbells are forged from solid steel and used in extreme strength competitions. No fancy design, no modern touches, just raw blocks of metal. For most people, simply lifting one off the ground is already an accomplishment. Some athletes train for years just to pull it off. The Copter Pack is a flying backpack built in Australia that skips traditional thrusters entirely, using two giant propellers to lift off instead. In test footage, the pilot looks like he's straight out of a sci-fi movie. Still experimental, but it's a real glimpse into the future of personal flight. The Mesoamerican ball game was one of the earliest team sports in human history, played by the Maya, the Aztecs, and the Olmecs. Players used their hips and elbows to strike a solid rubber ball. It carried heavy ritual weight, and in some cases, the losing players were sacrificed to the gods. The Cosmo table is a coffee table that also works as a fridge, a speaker, a lamp, and a wireless charger. It's got an LED screen, plays music through built-in Bluetooth speakers, chills drinks in a circular compartment, and responds to voice commands. Just set your phone on top, and it charges. Technology disguised as furniture. Kawasaki built Orsabot, a robotic horse designed to mimic real equine movement. It's used to study locomotion and push forward the development of robots that can interact naturally with their environment. Able to walk, trot, and gallop, it's already opening doors in rehabilitation research. Non-Newtonian fluid, made from water, cornstarch, and a splash of soap, does something wild when you catch it on slow-motion camera. Hit it, and it forms shapes, waves, and spikes that move like something out of another planet. Watching this liquid dance to sound or pressure has become a viral obsession. One designer dreamed up a stadium built to hold 1 million people. It's just a concept for now, but it includes a circular ring structure, giant screens, rest zones, and smart amenities. It even factors in automated internal transport. The project raises huge questions about sustainability, acoustics, logistics, and safety at that kind of scale. One of the first humanoid robots in history was named Eric. Built in 1928 in England, it had a metal body, glowing eyes, and an electrical system that let it stand up, move its arms, and even deliver speeches while waving to crowds. It became so popular, it toured the world as a technological ambassador. During synchronized diving at the Olympics, athletes make some seriously intense facial expressions. It's not for show, it's pure effort and extreme concentration. Every dive demands precision, perfect timing, and total body control in the split second before hitting the water. The Makapuno is a rare oddity in the coconut world. Unlike a regular coconut, its inside is packed with thick, gelatinous white flesh that fills the entire shell with barely a drop of water. Native to the Philippines and prized in desserts, this variety comes from a natural mutation, which is exactly why it's so hard to find. Two-way mirrors, once used for spying during the Cold War, are still used today in stores and surveillance rooms. Here's the trick to spot one. Press your fingernail against the glass. If there's no gap between your nail and its reflection, it's a two-way mirror. In one unique project, reclaimed wood was carved into 6 giant sculptures hidden throughout the natural landscape. Each piece was carefully sculpted and tucked away among the trees, just waiting to be discovered. The goal: give old wood a second life and surprise anyone lucky enough to stumble on a piece that looks like it grew straight out of nature. In Massachusetts, there's a town called Sandwich. Its official vehicles, police cars, fire trucks, all of them, are labeled with that name, creating the hilarious effect of vehicles seemingly advertising the famous snack. A small detail that gives the whole town a quirky, lovable charm. The not fried chicken ice cream is a viral dessert created by chef Cynthia Wong. It's designed to look exactly like fried chicken, but it's actually waffle-flavored ice cream coated in white chocolate and cornflakes. One bite in, and the flavor is 100% sweet and completely unexpected. The King of Hearts in a standard deck of cards is the only king without a mustache, a quirk that traces back to a printing error from the 15th century. That mistake happened during the creation of the earliest playing cards, and it's stuck around ever since, becoming a signature detail collectors still look for today. In 1847, an American sailor punched a hole through the center of a roll so it would cook all the way through, since the dough used to stay raw in the middle. And just like that, the classic bagel, with its unmistakable shape, was born. What started as a practical fix became a worldwide food icon. There's a special phone case that adds a full physical keyboard to your smartphone. Slide it open, and it looks like a mini computer with real keys, perfect for typing out long texts or emails. It connects over Bluetooth and works with most phones. The best of both worlds, modern tech and that classic feel of typing on real keys. Red Bull launched in Austria in 1987, inspired by a Thai energy drink. Its formula packs caffeine, taurine, glucuronolactone, and B vitamins. It became a favorite among students, drivers, and athletes everywhere. Beyond the drink itself, the brand sponsors extreme sports and even Formula One racing teams. For Super Mario Bros. 35th anniversary, Oreo dropped a special collaboration featuring cookies shaped like blocks from the video game. Each pack came stamped with mushrooms, stars, and Mario himself. They even included a QR code linking to an online minigame. There's a paper dragon that seems to follow you with its eyes as you walk by, even though it's completely motionless. It uses a trick called reverse perspective, where shadows and angles fool your brain into seeing depth that isn't there. Walk closer, step back, move side to side. Just paper, but seriously hypnotic. At a prison in Indiana, inmates convicted of murder are allowed to adopt cats to live with them in their cells. The goal is to teach responsibility and empathy. Studies show that animal therapy can improve behavior and reduce violence. Many inmates say the cats have genuinely helped them feel less anger. In Scotland, there's a flight between two islands that officially takes just 57 seconds. It covers the route between Westray and Papa Westray in the Orkney Islands, less than 2 miles total. It's the shortest scheduled flight in the world, used mainly by locals and workers since the terrain makes sea routes impractical. An Ethiopian athlete set the Guinness World Record for continuous water spitting, holding a steady stream for 56.36 seconds. Keeping a constant flow going for almost a full minute takes serious practice and precision. Official Guinness judges oversaw the attempt, which mixes raw human skill with a healthy dose of humor. Every year in Cooper's Hill, England, competitors take part in the legendary cheese rolling race. Dozens of racers hurl themselves down a steep hill, chasing a 7-pound wheel of cheese. The event is over 200 years old and blends adrenaline, rural tradition, and a healthy dash of madness. English athlete Russ Cook ran 387 marathons in just 352 days while crossing all of Africa. He pushed through heat, humidity, and brutal terrain without ever giving up. His determination helped him raise over $800,000 for charities fighting homelessness and supporting vulnerable communities. The mannequins of the future are already here, built with 9 moving joints that let them hold realistic, lifelike poses. Even more impressive, they can change size at the push of a button, simulating different body types. They're revolutionizing the fashion industry and are perfect for inclusive campaigns. In Japan, there's a competition where master carpenters go head-to-head to shave the thinnest possible wood curl using traditional hand planes that take years to master. The shavings end up so thin they're practically see-through like paper. It's a dance between craftsman and tool, pure Japanese precision as an art form. There's a chessboard powered by artificial intelligence and sensors that can move pieces on its own and offer real-time strategic advice. You can play against another person or challenge the AI itself. It even takes voice commands, making it accessible to players of any age. An ancient game completely reinvented by technology. The LVEX1 is a device that projects interactive three-dimensional holograms with zero need for special glasses. It uses high-speed fans fitted with LED blades that spin to create floating images in midair. Users can interact with the holograms through hand gestures or connected touchscreens. There's a device for visually impaired fans that uses a magnetic disc on a tactile board, moving in real time to track the ball's position during a soccer match. Users place their fingers on the board and feel every play, every goal, every corner kick. It turns soccer into a fully inclusive, hands-on experience. Ash Ketchum, the forever protagonist of Pokémon, caught dozens of creatures throughout his adventures, but oddly enough, he never actually caught them all. His legacy includes iconic Pokémon like Pikachu and Charizard. He remains a symbol of perseverance and determination, proving that friendship and courage can beat any obstacle. The Huawei Mate XT is the first phone in the world with 3 foldable screens in a single device. Closed, it looks like an ordinary phone, but unfolded and it transforms into a mini tablet. It combines vegan leather with gold accents. You can run 3 apps at once. Photochromic lenses automatically darken when exposed to sunlight, thanks to a chemical reaction in their molecules triggered by UV rays. Step back indoors, and they clear right back up. This technology offers comfort and eye protection without ever having to switch glasses. British artist Angelica Das is known for a style that blends fashion and humor with simple but clever line work. She creates illustrations that playfully poke fun at the high fashion world. Her work has gone viral on social media, and major fashion brands have lined up to collaborate with her. In 1939, General Motors unveiled the Pontiac Ghost Car, a fully functional vehicle with a body made entirely of transparent plexiglass. You could see straight through to the engine, the brakes, everything inside. It debuted at the World's Fair in New York. It was never mass-produced. This tech bracelet connects over Bluetooth to your phone and plays the Bible in audio discreetly and on the go. It has built-in buttons to change chapters, pause, or keep listening. No screen required. Perfect for meditation or travel. A perfect example of faith and technology coexisting. In Thailand, there's a curious tradition where you can commission a sculpture of someone's face and then smash it to release built-up tension. It's rooted in emotional cleansing rituals. Some people use it as therapy to move past breakups or work conflicts. A symbolic, hands-on kind of catharsis. The Globus Eurogol is an advanced training machine built to simulate passes, shots, and crosses in soccer. It creates dynamic scenarios that help players sharpen their accuracy and reaction time. Professional clubs use it to fine-tune their players' skills. The Lopafit is an electric bike with a built-in treadmill. Instead of pedaling, you walk on a belt that powers the motor. It feels like taking a stroll, but you move at bike speed. Invented in the Netherlands, it blends light exercise with eco-friendly transportation. French baguette bread is made with just 4 ingredients: flour, water, salt, and yeast. After fermenting, it's baked until it forms a crackling crust and a soft, airy inside. It's a symbol of European baking, and its fresh-baked smell has won over tables all around the world. The American Express Centurion card, known as the Black Card, is made of titanium and stands as a symbol of elite status. You can only get one by invitation, and it comes with no spending limit. Cardholders enjoy luxury services, personalized travel, and exclusive perks across the board. The Neuro R2 is a self-driving electric car built to deliver groceries. No seats, no steering wheel. It uses 360-degree cameras and artificial intelligence to navigate the streets on its own. It's already delivering groceries across cities in the United States. The future of convenience, rolling on wheels. Mario Garcia, a Guatemalan pizza chef, created something wild, cooking pizza on an active volcano. He uses the Pacaya volcano's natural heat to bake his pizzas in a totally unique way. It's turned into a popular tourist attraction that mixes food and nature like nothing else out there. The Toyota Corolla holds the record for best-selling car in the world. Since its debut in 1966, it's sold more than 44 million units across over 150 countries. Its success comes down to reliability, fuel efficiency, and maintenance costs almost anyone can afford. Hawaiian pizza isn't from Hawaii, it's from Canada. It was invented in 1962 by Sam Panopoulos, a Greek immigrant who decided to toss canned pineapple onto a regular pizza. The result caught on worldwide, even though the sweet and savory combo is still fiercely debated to this day. China just broke a world record with a drone show featuring more than 8,000 drones lighting up the sky, animals, geometric shapes, animated scenes, all perfectly synchronized. Each LED-lit drone moved in perfect coordination, creating a visual spectacle that left thousands of people in awe. Vision augmented reality contact lenses are considered the first of their kind in the world. They let you see real-time information directly on your eye, no glasses, no screens needed. Prototypes are already projecting things like translations, navigation, and floating messages right into your field of view. In 1975, Kodak engineer Steven Sasson invented the first digital camera. It weighed nearly 8 pounds, saved images to a cassette tape, and had a resolution of just 0.01 megapixels. Saving a single image took 23 seconds. Kodak never invested in the format, afraid it would hurt their existing business. An artist known as DPR can draw two completely different portraits at the same time, one with each hand. In his most viral demo, he drew Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi simultaneously, with perfect precision on both sides. That talent turned him into a social media sensation overnight. Estonian athlete John Roos became the first human to cross the Strait of Messina, between Calabria and Sicily, walking on a slackline less than an inch wide, high above the water. He fell just short of the finish, so the world record wasn't official, but he still pulled off something nobody had ever done before. In the United States, some police departments use Knightscope's K5 robot to boost public safety. It patrols spots like the Times Square station in New York. Packed with sensors and cameras, it can spot suspicious behavior and alert authorities instantly. Unlike a human, it never gets tired. Julia Vins is a Russian athlete known as the Muscle Barbie. Her face looks like it belongs to a doll, big eyes, delicate features, but her body belongs to a professional powerlifter. She can lift hundreds of pounds without breaking a sweat. Her story inspires thousands to challenge what society expects. A free-diving instructor on Bohol Island in the Philippines had a wild, risky experience when he accidentally swam straight into a swarm of baby jellyfish mid-dive. Intimidating, sure, but the whole thing got caught on camera, turning into one of those jaw-dropping, once-in-a-lifetime underwater moments. French photographer François Dorlaine went viral for blending scenes from animated movies into real life, using nothing but his phone. He holds it up in front of real-world landmarks and lines up Disney or Pixar characters perfectly with the background. The result, a fun optical illusion that fits together like magic. There's also a machine that automatically washes motorcycles. It fully encloses the bike and cleans it with pressure jets, special detergent, and soft brushes. The whole process takes under 3 minutes. Some versions run on coins or a mobile app. Tech and convenience, built for your ride. China is developing an army of 5,000 humanoid robots powered by advanced artificial intelligence. These robots learn from humans, adapt to new tasks, and move with real precision. With applications in manufacturing, customer service, and healthcare, they can communicate fluently and reshape entire industries through automation. Guillermo Galti is an Argentine artist who turns scrap metal into jaw-dropping biomechanical sculptures. No motors, no electricity involved. Gears, pipes, and old parts come together to form robotic creatures straight out of science fiction. Some pieces take months to finish. His technique blends welding, precision, and a powerful environmental message. There are edible capsules made from seaweed designed to replace plastic water bottles. They're small spheres you pop in your mouth, and they dissolve when you chew, no waste left behind. Built to cut down on plastic at sporting events and festivals, they can even hold juice or energy drinks. Some sculptures can only be seen properly from one exact angle. Move even slightly, and they vanish. Built with millimeter-level precision using rods or wires placed in space, from the front they form perfect shapes, faces, animals. From any other angle, they're just floating pieces with no connection. Art that only reveals itself on its own terms. A Japanese master knife sharpener named Ryota Takizaki managed to cut the ingredients for the thinnest sandwich ever recorded. With extreme precision and handcrafted knives, he's taken the art of cutting to an unbelievably detailed level that leaves everyone who watches him completely stunned. Artist Ivan Black creates kinetic sculptures made of interconnected metal rings that bend, twist, and contract in repeating patterns, always flowing back to their original shape with almost magical smoothness. No motors, no advanced tech, just balance and structural tension. Watching them slowly rotate feels like a form of visual meditation. The Curoscope Virtuality Tee is a t-shirt that mixes fashion with augmented reality to teach human anatomy. Scan it with an app, and an animation kicks in, revealing the body's organs like you can see straight through the torso. It's basically a biology class. According to data from 2023, the best-selling video games of all time are Minecraft, with over 220 million copies sold, followed by GTA 5 and Tetris. These titles define generations. There's a special harness for blind dogs with a rigid loop on the front that works like a contact antenna. When it gently bumps into an obstacle, the dog feels it before it actually hits anything and changes direction in time. It gives independence back to older dogs or ones losing their sight, letting them explore without fear. In Zurich, Switzerland, Samsung set up glass booths in public spaces, challenging people to sit for 60 minutes without checking their phone. Pull it off, and you'd win a Galaxy Watch. Most people couldn't even last 10 minutes. The campaign was meant to spark reflection on phone addiction, and it ended up going viral worldwide. Stop motion is an animation technique that brings real objects to life using a sequence of photographs. Every movement is captured frame by frame. It's incredibly time-consuming, but the visual style is one of a kind. Neapolitan pizza was officially declared an intangible cultural heritage by UNESCO. Its dough uses just flour, water, salt, and yeast, and it has to ferment for at least 8 hours. It's baked in a wood-fired oven at over 750 degrees Fahrenheit. Margherita pizza has a history tied to Italian royalty. In 1889, pizza chef Raffaele Esposito created it in honor of Queen Margherita of Savoy, using ingredients that mirrored the colors of the Italian flag: red, white, and green. Certain species of fireflies can sync their flashes to the exact same rhythm, creating a hypnotic effect across forests in Southeast Asia and North America. Scientists believe it's a way to attract a mate. Interestingly, something similar happens with humans when we sing together in a choir. Potato chips start by getting washed, then sliced into thin sheets, then dropped into hot oil until they hit that signature crunch. After frying, they're cooled and salted before getting packaged up. Thanks to this process, they've become one of the most popular snacks on the entire planet. In some Asian cities, specialized vending machines let you build custom ramen on the spot. Customers pick everything from the noodle type to toppings like egg, corn, pork, or spicy seasoning, all through a touchscreen. The machine assembles it all automatically. It's the perfect fusion of technology and food culture. In Portugal, there's a Catholic priest who's also an international DJ. He blends spiritual values with electronic music, performing at festivals and clubs while wearing his cassock. His message is simple: faith and fun don't have to be separate things. He wants to reach young people in a whole new way. Mark Lohr is planning to build Tolosa, a sustainable city in the Nevada desert designed to hold 5 million residents. It'll run entirely on renewable energy, solar, wind, and geothermal. Expect autonomous transport, bike lanes, urban farming, and water collection systems. A blueprint for the cities of the future. There's an innovative machine that cleans your bike in under 2 minutes. Just roll the bike inside, and a system of brushes and water jets scrubs every inch, including the chain and the spokes. It's eco-friendly too, since it recycles the water it uses. Less wear on your parts, and your bike's ready to ride. In cities like Beijing and Chongqing, some billboard screens display three-dimensional images with zero need for special glasses. Dragons bursting out of buildings, cars that appear to float, all thanks to clever viewing angles. People stop dead in the street just to watch. This is the future of outdoor advertising. Drones are transforming how we deliver supplies to remote areas and monitor natural disasters. Since they can reach places that are nearly impossible to access otherwise, they've become essential tools during emergencies. They deliver medicine, food, and critical equipment fast and efficiently during floods and wildfires alike. Simone Biles created a skill so complex, it's named after her. She landed the Biles 2 for the first time at the World Gymnastics Championships in Antwerp, Belgium, in 2023. It's a double backflip with a double twist. Michael Jackson received a patent in 1993 for a special shoe that let him pull off his iconic forward lean in Smooth Criminal. The shoe had a mechanism that locked onto hidden pegs on the stage, letting him defy gravity on command. His genius showed up in stage innovation too. Chess boxing is a hybrid sport where competitors alternate rounds of chess and boxing. It demands mental strategy and physical endurance in equal measure. You can win by checkmate, or you can win by knockout. This bizarre, fascinating combo tests both body and mind in a way nothing else does. During the closing ceremony of the Tokyo 2020 Paralympics, a group of athletes performed a routine with wheelchairs and prosthetics, synchronized down to the millisecond with lights and music. They proved that discipline and passion can break through any physical limit. It was a moving farewell that inspired millions. There's a dog named C-Paid, a mix between a poodle and an Old English sheepdog, who went viral for his white coat with black ears, a dead ringer for Snoopy. His owner posts videos of his daily life, and people can't get enough. He's smart, obedient, and playful, like the cartoon came to life. Las Fallas de Valencia is a festival in Spain where massive cardboard and wood sculptures are built depicting satirical scenes. The celebration ends with a spectacular bonfire, famous for its incredible fireworks. It's one of the most colorful and unique celebrations anywhere in the Spanish-speaking world. Researchers built technology that lets you manipulate three-dimensional virtual objects using just your hands. No gloves, no controllers. This breakthrough is reshaping education and entertainment, allowing for much more natural interaction with digital environments. It could push virtual and augmented reality to a whole new level of accessibility. Nike made sneakers you can put on without using your hands at all. They have a self-tightening system that kicks in the moment you press your heel down. Perfect for people with limited mobility or anyone who just wants instant comfort. Technology and fashion combined into one surprisingly functional shoe. Moonlight isn't actually its own light. It's just reflecting somewhere between 3 and 12% of the sunlight that hits it. It reflects barely any light at all, but because it's so close to Earth, it still looks bright, especially during a full moon. A phenomenon that's captivated observers throughout history. At the Louvre Museum, visitors can use a Nintendo 3DS as their official guide. This handheld device comes packed with interactive maps, detailed information, and personalized tours in multiple languages. Just point the camera at a piece of art, and it pulls up the historical details instantly. Classic art meets gamer tech. Newton's chain, when dropped from a surface, doesn't just fall straight down. It first arcs upward, almost like it's defying gravity. It happens because the falling end pulls on the still part, lifting it up before everything comes crashing down. Simple, but completely hypnotic to watch. White chocolate contains no solid cocoa or cocoa paste at all. It's made mainly from cocoa butter, sugar, and vanilla, which gives it that smooth, creamy texture. It doesn't taste anything like traditional chocolate, but it's still hugely popular in desserts for its versatility and delicate flavor. There are steel shelters installed right under the bed, built to protect 1 or 2 people during a tornado. Basically, personal safes. In areas that get hit with frequent storms, they offer instant safety without ever leaving the house. Some models even come with vents, lights, and Wi-Fi for extra comfort during emergencies. In Japan, farmers grow square watermelons using special molds during the growing process. The goal isn't to change the taste, it's to make storage and transport easier in tight spaces. They come with a hefty price tag and are bought mainly as luxury gifts. Some are never even eaten, since they're harvested before they fully ripen. A bull was caught on camera playing with a ball, using its snout and hooves to push it around and control it. This little moment breaks the typical image of bulls as pure symbols of strength and aggression. It reveals a playful, curious side, a reminder that animals have surprising personalities too. The Truck Surf Hotel is a truck turned into a hotel that travels along the coasts of Portugal and Morocco. It's got rooms, a kitchen, and common areas. It draws in surfers who want to travel and stay somewhere that keeps moving. The perfect mix of adventure, comfort, and stunning ocean views. In Melbourne, Australia, they hold an all-out cardboard box war. Hundreds of people show up in armor, helmets, and weapons made entirely from recycled cardboard. The goal isn't to win, it's to have fun, while encouraging creativity, sustainability, and community. Some even design armor inspired by movie or video game characters. In northern Sweden, in the village of Jukkasjärvi, they rebuild the famous ice hotel every winter, made entirely from ice and snow pulled from the torn river. Every room is sculpted by artists from around the world. Guests sleep on reindeer hides, and when spring hits, the whole thing melts away. The Bank of Japan prints 1,000 yen bills featuring bacteriologist Hideo Noguchi, famous for his research into diseases like yellow fever. It's a tribute to scientists and to medicine as a whole. The bills include advanced security features like watermarks and specialized ink. Bush is an extreme athlete who climbs mountains with zero protective gear, no ropes, no harness, no safety net whatsoever. This technique is called free solo climbing. Relying purely on his strength and focus, he takes on maximum risk every single time. His discipline has made him a legend in extreme sports. An underwater photographer managed to capture an intimate shot of a humpback whale's eye. In the photo, you can sense depth, intelligence, almost an emotion. The whale seems to hold perfectly still, almost like it understood exactly what was happening. A rare moment of connection between species. The runaway alarm clock is an invention designed to get you out of bed on time. If you don't get up, it starts moving across the room on its own, making it impossible to shut off without actually chasing it down. Perfect for anyone who struggles to wake up and needs that extra push. In 2018, a 1963 Ferrari 250 GTO hit a record-breaking price, selling for $70 million. Only 36 units were ever built. It's considered one of the most exclusive, most coveted cars in automotive history. The world's largest Lego roller coaster has a track 85 feet long, built from over 90,000 pieces. It includes climbs, drops, curves, and tunnels. Even the cars are made of Lego, powered along the track by a motorized system. It took months of planning and building to pull off. Sushi, an innovative restaurant in Tokyo, is pushing Japanese cuisine into the future with three-dimensional printed sushi. Customers submit biometric data, like DNA or health analysis, so the sushi gets customized to their exact nutritional needs. It's the convergence of food, tech, and a totally personalized dining experience. In 2014, an art installation at the Tower of London paid tribute to the fallen of World War I with 888,246 ceramic poppies, one for every British soldier who died. The piece moved the entire world with its powerful message. In 2017, Latvian company Aerons made history with the first ever parachute jump from a giant drone. The drone was built to lift up to 440 pounds, carrying a professional skydiver up to over 1,000 feet before the jump. A step toward a future where drones fly alongside humans. In countries like Denmark, the United States, and Mexico, there are musical roads that play notes as cars drive over them. Grooves are cut into the asphalt at precise intervals, and as tires roll over them, they produce recognizable melodies. They boost road safety and have turned into tourist attractions in their own right. Every year in Thailand, they celebrate the Loy Krathong Festival, where people float small banana leaf boats decorated with flowers, candles, and incense down rivers and canals. Their offerings to the water goddess. Thousands of floating lights create a dazzling display of color that represents forgiveness and good fortune. Brickell built fully functional miniature vending machines using nothing but Lego pieces. Insert a Lego bill, and your chosen item drops down ready to grab. It's not just a creative engineering feat, it's a masterclass in building complex mechanisms out of simple building blocks. Spaghetti ice cream is a dessert invented in Germany back in the 1960s. It looks like pasta, but it's actually vanilla ice cream pushed through a press that turns it into thin, noodle-like strands. Inca Kola, the soft drink born in Peru, has managed to go toe-to-toe with giants like Coca-Cola and become a national symbol. Its unique tropical fruit flavor and bright yellow color have made it a favorite across Latin America. Pachinko is a hugely popular game of chance in Japan, a mashup of pinball and a slot machine. Players launch tiny metal balls into a vertical machine, hoping to win more balls that get traded in for prizes. The parlors are loud, flashy, and deeply woven into Japanese urban culture, moving billions of dollars every year. This digital microscope needs no cables, no computer connection. It's got its own touchscreen and jaw-dropping precision, letting you see cells, insects, fibers, and circuits in stunning detail. It also snaps photos and records video. Its compact size makes it perfect for schools, labs, or curious minds at home. Pizza Hut released a pizza warmer that plugs directly into a PlayStation 5. It uses the heat the console gives off during gameplay to keep your pizza warm and ready to eat. It was part of a special promo that had gamers and pizza lovers equally hyped. Fabiano Milani is a Brazilian painter who's mastered hyperrealism, turning every single brushstroke into an image so lifelike it looks like a photograph. His portraits capture pores, reflections in the eyes, and textures using nothing but oil paint and patience. There's a nearly black orchid that carries a rare, elegant presence all its own. Plenty of people associate it with sophistication and mystery. It's not easy to grow. It needs a very specific climate, constant care, and a whole lot of patience. Those who manage to grow one get a flower that mixes delicate beauty with striking intensity. Making your own perfume comes down to mixing essential oils with alcohol. You start with a base note, like vanilla, add a middle note, like lavender, then a top note, like lemon. Let the blend rest for weeks. The result, a completely unique scent, personalized, and nothing like anything you'd find in a store. A kitten went viral for having outrageously picky taste. It would only drink bottled water from one specific brand, refusing tap water, filtered water, even other bottled brands. Its owner posted a video on TikTok that racked up millions of views. The cat went from ordinary house pet to full-blown internet celebrity. In Stockholm, Sweden, a decommissioned Boeing 747 got turned into the Jumbo Hostel. Located right next to Arlanda Airport, it offers rooms built inside the plane's actual fuselage. Guests can even sleep in the old cockpit. It's a huge hit among aviation lovers. At the Terme Milano Spa in Italy, there's a special room where water falls from the ceiling, simulating a storm complete with soft thunder and lightning-like lights. This multi-sensory therapy triggers deep relaxation through sound and touch. It's a space where nature gets artificially recreated. Kiribati, a chain of islands in the Pacific, is the first country in the world to welcome the new year. Thanks to its location right on the international date line, it's always ahead of everyone else. Some islands within the same country are a full day apart in time, a tiny paradise that's permanently ahead of the curve. Angela Luna designed a jacket that transforms into a tent. Made from wind and water-resistant materials, it easily unfolds into a small shelter-like structure. It even has compartments for storing belongings. It's won design awards and earned recognition from humanitarian organizations. In Bali, Indonesia, there's the Hanging Gardens private jet villa, a luxury villa built inside an actual Boeing 737, suspended over a cliff with views of the Indian Ocean. Loaded with all the amenities of a high-end hotel, it offers total privacy wrapped in absolutely breathtaking scenery. In countries that get hit with heavy snowfall, there are special trains built just to clear snow off the tracks. Some can clear up to 3,850 tons an hour. They're equipped with front-mounted blades and rotary throwers. Without these powerhouse machines, winter would shut down rail transport completely. In the eyes of the animal is an immersive virtual reality experience that lets you see the world through the eyes of a mosquito, a frog, or an owl. Developed in the United Kingdom, it blends visuals with binaural sound for a full multi-sensory experience. Alice is the world's first fully electric commercial aircraft, built to carry 9 passengers. Developed by Aviation, it promises to slash carbon emissions and operating costs. It runs on advanced batteries for short and medium flights, marking a milestone in aviation and proving just how real sustainable air travel can be. A patient named D. Turner played the violin while surgeons removed a brain tumor. Doctors asked him to perform live so they could protect critical brain regions and monitor his motor skills in real time. This one-of-a-kind surgery blended art and medicine, and it worked. His musical abilities came out completely unaffected. Jackfruit is the largest fruit that grows on trees. Native to South Asia, it can reach up to 3 feet long and weigh anywhere from 20 to over 100 pounds. Oddly enough, it's often used as a meat substitute in vegetarian dishes thanks to its stringy, fibrous texture. Before mechanical clocks existed, people used candles with markings to track time. The candles burned down at a steady rate, letting people estimate the hour based on how much wax was left. This method was especially common in the Middle Ages and played a key role in the evolution of timekeeping. A Cheeto shaped vaguely like the gorilla Harambe sold at auction for $99,900. Sounds ridiculous, but collectors saw it as a genuinely one-of-a-kind item. It turned into a viral phenomenon, proving that sometimes the weirdest thing in the world can end up worth a small fortune. The smallest phone in the world was made by Japanese brand Zanko, and it fits in the palm of your hand with room to spare. It handles the basics: calls, texts, and a flashlight. It's available on Amazon and perfect for situations where space or discretion really matters. An engineer built a basketball backboard shaped like a parabola. Thanks to physics simulations, literally any shot that bounces off, it ends up going in. The design leverages angles and trajectory to guarantee a make. A pair of augmented reality glasses can pick up audio from a conversation and float live subtitles directly in your field of vision. They're a huge help for people with hearing loss or anyone trying to follow along in a different language. No external screen needed. It all happens right in front of your eyes. At 70 years old, Polish adventurer Aleksander Doba rode solo across the Atlantic from France to New York over 110 days. He battled storms, massive waves, and the crushing loneliness of the open ocean. His feat proves age is never a limit when passion and determination come first. Beasley is a dog who went viral for wearing braces, not for looks, but for his health. He had a dental misalignment so severe it kept him from chewing properly, and he was losing weight. His orthodontic vet fitted him with special braces to straighten his teeth. Thanks to the treatment, his appetite came back, and his smile became famous. The lion dance is an ancient Chinese tradition performed during Chinese New Year or major openings. Two people inside a single costume mimic the lion's movements to the beat of drums. It's believed to chase away bad spirits. Sometimes the lion eats a lettuce head, a symbol of good luck. In Chongqing, China, you'll find the Crystal Skyscraper, a horizontal structure suspended over 800 feet in the air. This building connects multiple towers and offers gardens, pools, and observation decks with sweeping panoramic views. It breaks every architectural convention, functioning like a giant bridge that links different parts of the city together. Toyota unveiled the E4ME, a fully autonomous, fully electric personal vehicle designed for customized urban mobility. With futuristic styling and smart systems, it lets you travel without ever touching the wheel. Its electric motor helps cut down pollution. It's a glimpse at the future of transportation, one that's more efficient and more sustainable. The Dr. Yellow is a unique high-speed train in Japan, built specifically to inspect the bullet train tracks. It runs at the same speed as regular commercial trains, up to about 175 miles per hour, scanning for infrastructure problems along the way. It carries no passengers. Its only job is keeping the rail system safe. The Shibara Resort in Saudi Arabia is a luxury floating hotel with rooms shaped like floating metal spheres. It runs entirely on solar power and can only be reached by exclusive transport. Guests are surrounded by turquoise waters, breathtaking scenery, and total isolation from the outside world. In a nighttime marble race, every marble represents a country's flag, turning the competition into an event packed with national pride. Racers send their marbles rolling down illuminated tracks where speed and precision make all the difference. It blends nostalgia with modern excitement. The Siberian Husky can withstand temperatures as low as 40 degrees below zero, thanks to its thick double coat. Its whole body is built for extreme cold. Even in freezing temperatures, it conserves energy and body heat. They make ideal companions in cold climates, historically bred to pull sleds through brutal conditions. The Akebia quinnata is a fruit that smells like chocolate. This climbing vine, native to Asia, produces a deep purple fruit with soft, gelatinous flesh that tastes mild and lightly sweet. Its scent is so strong it can perfume an entire room. It's used in teas, desserts, and even as an ornamental plant. Pole vaulting over canals in the Netherlands actually comes from an old survival need. Farmers use long poles to cross canals during winter. Today, it's turned into a competitive sport, hugely popular with locals, even though almost nobody outside the region has ever heard of it. In the world of robotics, there's a robot that can open bottles and crack nuts, tasks that demand precision close to human-level dexterity. Its ability to handle fragile objects makes it a valuable tool in automation, showing just how far robots have come in mimicking human skill. Some cows have a hole in their side called a rumen cannula that connects directly to their stomach. Scientists use it to study digestion in real time, helping improve animal nutrition, optimize diets, and reduce methane emissions, contributing directly to sustainability in agriculture. Boots made from crocodile leather are symbols of luxury and exclusivity. Their steep price tag comes from how exotic the leather is and how labor-intensive the crafting process can be. Each pair can take days to finish. They're considered a coveted piece in both Western fashion and cowboy culture. The Robix drill is an advanced cordless drill packed with an LCD screen, laser measurement, digital level control, and Wi-Fi and Bluetooth connectivity. Users can monitor it straight from a mobile app. It lets you adjust rotation speed and measure precision, a genuine revolution in power tools that blends function with tech. Storm-proof matches can light up even underwater. They're perfect for camping, emergencies, or survival situations. They hold up against strong wind, rain, and extreme conditions. Originally designed for the military, now anyone can buy them. Having just one box could make all the difference when everything else fails and you need fire. The Capilano Suspension Bridge in Vancouver stretches 450 feet long and hangs 230 feet above the river. Originally built in 1889 with hemp, rope, and wood, it's now reinforced with steel. It's one of Canada's most visited attractions, and yes, it sways as you walk across it. The Native Youth Olympics take place in Anchorage to honor Indigenous traditions. The competitions include unique events like the Seal Hop, where athletes move across the snow in a wildly impressive way, keeping the ancestral customs of Native peoples alive. British artists Tim Noble and Sue Webster create shadow sculptures, turning piles of everyday trash into figurative images. When the junk gets lit from just the right angle, recognizable figures appear out of nowhere. Their work challenges traditional ideas about art, turning the ordinary into the extraordinary and the discarded into a unique form of expression. In Australia, some birds of prey, like hawks and kestrels, pick up burning branches from wildfires and drop them onto dry areas to start new fires. And this is all. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more Zarpado facts.